Okay, campers, rise and shine, and don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today. Oh, yes, it is a chilly Saturday here at Elliott Field, but we are ready for Fitchburg State University football. It is senior day here, one of the most important days of the year. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Danny Bolek. And Dan, the Falcons on senior day take on the Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth.
Absolutely. Both these teams come into this game with a 3-6 record, and for UMass Dartmouth, they're a team that looks, when you look at it, pretty similar to Fitchburg State when you really look into the numbers.
We'll get to that shortly, but as we mentioned, it is senior day here at Elliott Field. We bring in Amanda Agassi, and standing by with Amanda is a very special guest.
The Fitchburg State cheerleading squad for their career contributions.
Hey guys, and welcome to a sunny yet cold senior day. The Falcons are graduating 11 seniors. Quickly, Devon Samael, Javon Brown-Simpson, JoJo Charles, Dylan Woods, Jesse Lastra, Stephan Armand, David Desmond, James Droney, Berthany Henry, Connor Flynn, and Marquise Frazier. And I am joined by Dylan Woods' brother, Jared Woods. Please quickly tell me, what has this been like watching your brother play football for Fitchburg State?
It's been really great. It's been a nice experience. Showing him putting in all the work and then finally getting a start the senior year. One of the best moments was him telling me that he got the start, and I was happy for him because I've seen him put in the work through all the years.
Nice. And now do you have any quick words you want to say to your brother on his last day?
I just hope he enjoys it. I hope they get the win so he's not as sad when it's all over. And yeah, just have fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jared, for joining us. Back to you guys. It's going to be a cold game, but bundle up and stay warm.
Thank you very much, Amanda. And as you can see, the Senior Day festivities are already underway, so we're going to hand it off to Dr. Robert Hines, who will take us through Senior Day here at Elliott Field.
1,100 touchdowns. This season, Jesse has appeared in 8 contests for the Falcons, registering 302 receiving yards on 21 catches and 3 touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by Coach Haverty, number 4, Jesse Lastra. David Desmond has been a 4-year letter winner for the Fitchburg State football team, serving in a primary role as a Falcons defensive back. Over his career, he has appeared in 38 games, totaling 91 tackles with 66 solo, 25 assisted, 1 fumble forced, 2 fumbles recovered, and a pair of interceptions. This season, David has started 8 of the Falcons' 9 games, collecting 86 tackles on 15 solo stops, 3 assisted tackles, 1 forced fumble, and an interception. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by Coach Haverty and his brother, Devon Desmond, number 5, David Desmond. Dylan Woods has been a 3-year member of the Falcons football squad, playing a significant role on the Fitchburg State defense. Over his career, he has appeared in 25 career games, totaling 70 tackles, 42 solo stops, and 28 assisted, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovered, and an interception. This season, Dylan has started 8 of the Falcons' 9 games, registering 51 tackles on 27 solo stops, 24 assisted tackles, half a sack, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by his mother, Amy, and his father, Keith, number 6, Dylan Woods. Devon Samael has been a 5-year letter winner for the Fitchburg State football team, serving in a primary role as Falcons receiver and tight end. Throughout his 38-game career, Devon has etched his name into Fitchburg State's record books, setting the Falcons' all-time career marks in receptions with 185, receiving yards 2,679, and touchdown receptions 28. This season, Samael leads all Falcons receivers with 52 catches for 548 yards and a team-leading 7 touchdowns in his 9 games played. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by mother, Joanne, and his father, David, number 8, Devon Samael. James Droney has been a 4-year linebacker for the Green and Gold. Throughout his 13 career games, James has registered 10 tackles with 6 solo stops and 4 assisted, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 fumble recovery. This season, Droney has posted 7 total tackles on 4 solo stops with 3 assisted, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 fumble recovered. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by his mother Diane and father Jim, number 37, James Droney. Jonathan Charles has been a 2-year wide receiver for the Falcons, appearing in 8 games. During his career, Charles has caught 2 passes for 15 yards with 1 touchdown and averaging 7.5 yards per reception. This year, John has hauled in 2 passes for 15 yards and 1 touchdown, including his first collegiate score in a 31-10 victory over Castleton on September 9th. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by Janita Brown, number 85, Jonathan Charles. Marquise Frazier has been a 2-year member of the Fitchburg State football team, serving in a primary role as a defensive lineman. During his career, Marquise has seen action in 8 games, totaling 11 tackles on 7 solo stops with 4 assisted, as well as 2.5 sacks, 3.5 tackles for a loss, 1 fumble forced, and 1 interception. This season, Frazier has notched 10 tackles on 7 solo stops with 3 assisted, 2.5 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss, a forced fumble, and an interception, including his first collegiate pick in the Falcons' 32-16 setback to Framingham State. Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by his mother, Denise Frazier, number 98, Marquise Frazier. We also have an opportunity today to recognize 4 senior cheerleaders. Please welcome Cassandra Kearns, accompanied by Mother Betty and Father Jack. Nicolette LeClaire, accompanied by Father Leo and Ryan Graham. Jacqueline Lindblad, accompanied by Mother Cindy and Father Randy. And Kiana Newton, accompanied by Mother Ann and Aunt Ava. Ladies and gentlemen, your senior football players and senior cheerleaders.
Senior Day here at Elliott Field. I'm John Gergerty, joined by Danny Bolak. And Dan, we just saw the graduating seniors from Fitchburg State honored, and obviously Senior Day is a very important day, but there is the matter of a football game to be played, and the Falcons today will take on the Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth.
Yes, both teams having struggled a little bit this year. Both teams coming in with records of 3-6. The Falcons 2-5 in the MASCAC. The Corsairs 3-4 in the MASCAC. And for the most part, the winner of this game will most likely take 5th place in the conference. So they're still battling for the mid-table there to try to finish off the season with one more success and try to send the seniors out on a high note.
Yeah, absolutely. The seniors, obviously this being their last game, they're going to want to go out, they're going to want to perform to their very best. But as we take a deeper look at this, we see UMass Dartmouth is really a very similar team to Fitchburg State.
Absolutely. Both Fitchburg and UMass Dartmouth have used multiple quarterbacks this year. They've sort of struggled on deciding on somebody. For UMass Dartmouth, they've been rotating between sophomore Chase Pina and freshman Stephen Gaychuk, but Gaychuk's not going to be playing in this game, so we'll be expecting to see a lot of Chase Pina. Both teams have a very strong senior running back, the Falcons with Javon Brown-Simpson, the Corsairs with Michael Slaughter Jr., both of them having run for over 800 yards this year, and both of them wearing number 1 as well. And then, of course, the wide receiver core for the Falcons, Devon Samael and Herbert Acosta. being the two lead receivers for the Falcons, both having put up great numbers this year. And for the Corsairs, Abby Bambos, a familiar name to those of you who've watched Red Raider football over the last several years on
Can
FATV.
remember a few times I've heard Dave Clark screaming, Abby Bambos, Abby Bambos.
Yep. He is a junior for the Corsairs, and he's back in Fitchburg today. And Jeremy Jackson as well, a strong junior receiver with 3 touchdowns, over 30 catches on the campaign. I mean, these two teams are pretty similar in those regards, and there's several other ways you can sort of look at it as well. But the main, even with the records and all that, but I guess the main point to point out is these are two pretty similar teams and a pretty similar, and it looks like a pretty level matchup. So we're going to have a pretty competitive game, I think, for this last game of the season.
It should be, and obviously, if you're in Fitchburg, there's still plenty of time to come on down. This game isn't even underway yet. We encourage those of you in Fitchburg to make your way to Elliott Field. If you can't, absolutely keep, I hope Danny and I don't turn you off. Absolutely watch the game. And if you know anybody in Dartmouth or anybody around who would be interested in this game, just go to fatv.org. Live streaming is available as always.
Absolutely. Let's go over both teams' last games. For Fitchburg State, we saw them last week here against Plymouth State. They lost 24-7 in a game that was not indicative of the score.
No, that score line is, it was a much closer game than that. They played Plymouth State very tough.
Absolutely. The Falcons, led by Connor Fitzsimons over the air, 25 for 28, 211 yards. We didn't really get a chance to appreciate that during the game, that he actually only missed 3 passes the whole game. An 89.3% completion percentage, the second best put up in all of Division III football this season.
It was a very impressive performance by Fitzsimons. They saw a lot of short dump-off passes by the Falcon offense, and Fitzsimons executed them for the most part very well. There were obviously a couple of interceptions that he would have liked to have back, but 25 of 28, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely. Javon Brown-Simpson against the very daunted Plymouth State defense went 22 for 109 with a touchdown. Devon Samael, 10 catches for 93 yards. I mean, the Falcons had a fairly good game on offense. They just couldn't put points on the board, and those 3 turnovers they had, those were very, very costly in the end of the game. I think if you take those turnovers away, Fitchburg might have had a chance at winning that game.
Could be a very different game indeed. And real quick, we do want to extend congratulations to Plymouth State. After the game last week, we saw the Plymouth State fans who would come out were all huddled around their phones, eagerly watching Framingham State, and they were able to wrap up their victory, which gave Plymouth State the conference championship. So congratulations to Plymouth State there.
Absolutely, and that game was a barn burner down the stretch too. Western Connecticut came back from about 15 points down to take the lead with a minute left, and then Framingham State drove down the field, a 1-minute drill. They scored with 10 seconds left to take the win.
And there was an eruption in the parking lot of Elliott Field, as it had to be 30 fans from Plymouth State all gathered around, letting out cheers as they realized that Plymouth State had won the MASCAC.
Absolutely. I mean, I was leaving about 40 minutes after the game ended. I was leaving, and then I could hear a loud roar from behind me. It's like, it sounds like Framingham won.
Yep, Framingham did in fact win.
Yep, and for Western Connecticut, boy, did they fall on their faces last night. They lost 18-0 to Westfield State to close their season.
It's a frustrating way to end the season for Western Connecticut, but they'll be back. They're good.
They are good. They're going to lose their senior quarterback in Quinn Fleeting, who only threw 4 picks all season long, 2 in the last game. But with that, and for Western Connecticut, they pretty much lost a shot at the New England Bowl bid, too, as well. At 3 losses, it's going to be very difficult to get it. As for Framingham State, they're taking on Worcester State today. And Framingham State, if they win that game, they almost certainly are going to get a New England Bowl bid. Other teams that are looking for one of those bids, 8-1 SUNY Maritime, 7-2 MIT, WPI, and Curry, and 6-2 Salve Regina. They're all in the hunt for 4 spots in 2 New England Bowls.
That's something certainly to watch, but as we return to this game here at Elliott Field, take a look at the Corsairs. The thing that stands out at me, Dan, is quarterback Jace Pino last week against Mass Maritime in a 37-14 win. He was outstanding. 21 out of 35. He threw for 350 yards.
Absolutely. He was finding his receivers pretty consistently. 3 touchdowns, a 60-yard long. Found Abby Bambos 5 times for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Slaughter Jr., 27 carries for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. Solid game for UMass Dartmouth. If there's like one caveat, it's the fact they did it against Mass Maritime, who have locked up the wooden spoon in the MASCAC, a 1-8 record overall, 0-7 in conference play. They will finish nowhere but last. the Buccaneers will from Mass Maritime. But it's like sometimes you'll have those tough seasons as well. And sorry as I get tripped over my words
That's
there.
all right.
I
It's
guess
cold.
I would also like to point out, too, for Fitchburg and UMass Dartmouth, another way that they're similar that I couldn't think of at the moment, they don't have a whole lot of seniors. Fitchburg State only with 11 seniors, UMass Dartmouth with just 9.
It really isn't a lot when you get into the size of the rosters here at college football, and obviously we don't want to underplay the contributions of the seniors to both of these teams, especially the Falcons. Devon Samael jumps to mind, the Falcons' all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. His graduation will, obviously congratulations to him. It will be a big blow to this Fitchburg State offense. Absolutely,
the all-time receiver in all of those categories. One of the best receivers, if not the best receiver the Falcons have ever had. And he started as a tight end. He was a 5-year letter winner, as Dr. Robert Hines announced. His first year, he only played in 1 game, and he got hurt last year. He only got to play about half of the season, so he did that really with 3.5 years of output. And he, as a tight end, converted to a wide receiver, although he plays both of them fabulously, and he's played so well for the Falcons. It's a shame this is going to be the last time we get to see him on the football field.
And for the Falcons, they're going to be looking to send not only Devon Samael, but all of their graduating seniors away with a victory. The Fitchburg State started this year pretty good. They were 3-2 after 5 games, but in their last 4 contests, obviously the loss of Nelson Valerio to a knee injury has hurt. They've had some ineffective, inconsistent quarterback play. The Falcons have lost 4 games in a row, and they not only has the offense been troubling them, their defense has had a tough row to hoe. They've given up 32 points to Framingham, 33 to Westfield, 55 in a loss to Western Connecticut. And last week, Plymouth State scored 24 points. As I recall, they got at least 1 touchdown from their defense, didn't they?
They got 2 touchdowns,
2 touchdowns
from their defense.
from the defense for Plymouth State.
Yep, they had a scoop and score on a strip sack, and then they had the interception at the end of the game.
The pick 6 that really sealed it, yes.
Absolutely. So, really, the defense only gave up 10 points in that game, which is another reason why I was saying you take those turnovers away. The Falcons very well could have won that game. And the conference would have been turned on its head if that was the case.
Absolutely would have.
Yep, but instead, Plymouth State gets to go to their first NCAA tournament in 9 years. For UMass Dartmouth, too, going in, as we've said, 3-6. And they've always had they've always struggled a bit overall. In fact, this is going to be their 9th consecutive season where they failed to break the 500 mark.
9 straight losing years. It doesn't feel good. It's thin times for the Corsairs.
Absolutely. Their last, 2008, they went 6-4. 2002, they had 10 wins, went to the NCAA tournament. That was the sort of the highest points of their times. And since then, it seems like every time they're taking steps forward, suddenly they stumble, they take a few steps back. But UMass Dartmouth always plays tough. They're never an easy team to beat.
No, absolutely not. And you look at the Fitchburg State team, they're in a similar position. Yes, they come into this game with a 3-6 record, but I haven't seen them for a few games, and you, Dan, have seen pretty much every game this year for the Falcons. They really don't feel like a 3-6 team.
No, they do not. They moved the ball very well last week against the best team in the conference. And in even the other games against Western Connecticut, against Westfield, they had their moments, but turnovers have been costly. This team has turned the ball over 29 times this year, and that really plays a huge role. They've actually they've had 20 interceptions conceded. That's bottom 5 in Division III, but surprisingly only 2nd worst in the conference. Worcester State is surprisingly a little worse at that.
Well, if you're a biased observer, which I will be here, we can hope that they stay there. No more interceptions today.
I would like to see that. The Falcons, they've had their issues and what have you, but this is a team that does have a lot of potential. And
as you mentioned, it really is, in many places, a young team. Yes, they do have a senior running back in Javon Brown-Simpson who's graduating, and a senior tight end in Devon Samael who's graduating. But aside from those positions, Fitchburg State has a really young core that hopefully can only get better from here.
Absolutely. 21 freshmen, 25 sophomores, 21 juniors on this year's roster.
And most, if not all of them, will be back next year. So as much as this is a celebration of the contributions of the seniors for Fitchburg State, and I'm sure we'll see maybe some guys that we haven't seen as much who are seniors get into the action today, it's also a day to look forward and see what this Falcon team might be like in the coming seasons ahead.
Absolutely. mean, it's 10 months till the next game. At the start of September, when Curry College will come to Fitchburg.
I noticed you had that marked on our little prep sheet here. The next FATV Falcon telecast, probably September 1st, 2018 versus Curry. But that is to be decided.
Yep. We have to figure out when that game is going to be. But the big thing to think about is this. The Falcons only got 4 home games last year. What? It's not going to be Curry? Oh, wow. That's actually Betty and Mclaughlin.
People at home only heard one half of that conversation.
Okay,
yeah.
So our sports information director pointed out it's not going to be Curry we're facing, but SUNY Cortland.
There you go.
And that's actually a very strong team.
Okay.
Really, I forget what conference they play in because they're normally in the SUNYAC, but they don't play in the SUNYAC for football. So I think the Empire 8 won Liberty League. The folks at home might know, but nonetheless, SUNY Cortland is a very strong team. And that's a team that I think Framingham played earlier this year as well. They often play them as well. So
I think we may be getting just a little bit ahead of ourselves if we're pre-gaming for next September as the Falcons take the field for this game here today.
Yep, absolutely. That's what's going to really matter. Here, Fitchburg, UMass, Dartmouth. Final game of the season for 20 seniors, the final games of their collegiate careers. That's what we're going to be looking forward to today, and I think it's going to be a great game.
It really should be. Teams are going to head out to midfield for the coin toss. Captains for UMass Dartmouth. Left to right, you've got Michael Slaughter Jr., number 1, Antonio Mitchens, 55, Scott Tupper is number 21, and Brandon Miller, number 40. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, heading out to midfield are Javon Brown Simpson, Devon Samael, and Kyreek Watford. And there you see them, the Falcons today, in the gold jerseys with green pants. UMass Dartmouth looking like a toned-down version of the Los Angeles Chargers, basically. That feels weird to me, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, that never sounded right to me.
No. I don't think the people of Los Angeles think that feels right yet.
UMass Dartmouth is going to start with the football as the Falcons win the toss and defer to the second half.
Usually what the Falcons do when they win the toss, they like to take the ball to begin the second half.
I know that's my own personal preference as well.
It certainly makes sense. So it is senior day here at Elliott Field. Still plenty of good seats available if you feel like braving the frigid temperatures outside. Meanwhile, we've taken our jackets off. This press box is often like a greenhouse. So, you know, it's fine. It's only 75, 80 degrees in here, and it's only 15, 20 degrees outside. This is fine. This is fine.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine. So we'll pause for the anthem, and we'll be back. Falcon football here on FATV.
It is senior day here at Elliott Field. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Danny Bolak. And Dan, the Falcons are getting ready to play the Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth for the final game of the season.
Absolutely. The Falcons looking for their third consecutive win against UMass Dartmouth, something they've never done in this series that has stretched over 25 years. The Falcons are 7-13 all time against UMass Dartmouth. But the Falcons, as I've said, never won 3 in a row. They've won the last 2 meetings, but never 3 in a row. As for UMass Dartmouth, they've also not won in Fitchburg since 2007.
Both teams looking to break some long streaks. Fitchburg State also looking to snap a 4-game losing streak. UMass Dartmouth did that last week in their 37-14 victory over Massachusetts Maritime.
Officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site.
So as we further look out, we mentioned too the uniforms as well. The Falcons in the alternate gold uniforms with the green numbers. That was the set of uniforms that they'd wore for the last several years before changing to the green uniforms. They also won in those uniforms earlier this year against Bridgewater. And another way of putting it is for some of the seniors who have been here 4 or 5 years, those were the uniforms they started their careers in. So in a sense, it's fitting to finish with those.
Absolutely.
UMass Dartmouth with the road white uniforms with green, with a blue and yellow gradient. I didn't know those were still legal.
You learn something new every day, Dan.
Blue helmets, blue pants, and for the first quarter, John Gugerty, take it away.
Thank you so much, Danny Bolek. Kick is away from Zach Bingham. Taken in at about the 20-yard line. Good blocking for the Corsairs. Finally brought down at about the 39-yard line is Jimmy Hurtle for UMass Dartmouth. So as we mentioned for UMass Dartmouth on the offensive side of the ball, going to see a lot of Jace Pina today, the quarterback. Also Michael Slaughter Jr., the running back. Abby Bambos, their main target as a wide receiver.
All of those wearing single digits as well. Slaughter Jr. number 1, Pina number 3. Bambos lined up on the bottom of the screen when we go to the wide shot at number 4.
And we also have set up deep in the backfield for UMass Dartmouth is Matt Mitchell, number 24. He'll line up to the left of the quarterback, Pina. You see him there. Pina from the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself. Run to the right. Gets about 6-7 yards. Bring him down after a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for UMass Dartmouth.
Already looks like shades of the triple option. The way he faked the handoff to Slaughter and then ended up taking it himself, going to the right side.
7 on the play.
Mitchell heads to the sideline for Dartmouth. Randy Butler checks in. 2nd down and 3 now for UMass. Handoff goes straight up the middle this time. Not much there. Second effort might have gotten him the first down, and they will stop the clock and move the chains. Michael Slaughter Jr.'s first touch of the day.
A little more of a conventional run on 2nd down, trying to run to the right side. First looked like might have been stopped short, but Slaughter Jr. able to put that second effort through and get a first down.
UMass Dartmouth hurries to the line and then gets signals from the sideline. We saw a lot of that last week for Fitchburg State. You see Pina there getting coaching from head coach Mark Robichaud. Dartmouth with 2 wide receivers stacked up on either side. Pina back to pass, throwing long to the right. Pass is a little bit overthrown, incomplete. Looked like he was trying to get it to Slaughter.
Slaughter playing a wide receiver route on that first pass play of the game. And just a bit overthrown there by Pina. Had a 60% completion percentage.
There is a flag on the play, however. Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Falcons. So that'll be 1st down UMass Dartmouth.
So after getting a successful stop on 1st down, it's wiped out by the roughing the passer. Just mistiming the hit and knocking Pina to the ground a bit late there.
So a big penalty, 15 yards, sets UMass up 1st and 10 at the Falcon 33-yard line.
Corsairs 1st and 10.
UMass Dartmouth going from the shotgun. 2 running backs. Handoff along the right side. Picks up about 4 yards.
Matt Mitchell, the ball carrier.
That was Matt Mitchell's first touch for the junior out of Stonington, Connecticut.
Mitchell with the roll to the right side. 7 yards gained on that play.
David Morales.
Mitchell has not had a lot of long runs. 41 carries for 91 yards coming into today.
Corsairs going with that 2-back shotgun formation. Play action this time. Pina throws long to the left for the end zone. That pass is incomplete. I think the Falcons might have been a little lucky to get away with the coverage there. Morikita had a hand on the receiver pretty much all the way down the sideline.
We're looking for Jason Hudson down the long side of the field on the right side. It looked like it was overthrown anyway, but it would have been a little difficult for Hudson to come in and grab that. But nonetheless, it brings up our first third down of the game.
3rd down and 3 for UMass Dartmouth, probably in 4-down territory. You need to get to the 21 of the Falcons for a first down. Low snap, pitch right to Slaughter. He gets a hole. I think he's got a first down. And yes, indeed, he does. Michael Slaughter Jr. picks up a first down, so we'll stop the clock, move the chains for UMass Dartmouth.
Wheeling around to the right side after he takes the pitch. And I know that Slaughter has actually thrown a couple of passes in the past, so there's always that option of that halfback pass as well. But Slaughter runs with it and gets the yardage for the first.
Slaughter and Randy Butler will be the men in the backfield here for UMass Dartmouth. Pina just getting signals from the sideline now. See there, the center for UMass Dartmouth, 55, is Antonio Mitchens, just waiting to snap that ball. Pina under pressure, rolls right, throws right. There is nobody there. He actually knocked over the pylon. It's a pretty good accuracy on a get-rid-of-the-ball type pass.
Absolutely.
The pylon is not an eligible receiver, though, is it?
It is not.
Okay. He was out of the pocket anyway.
So he's able to avoid the intentional grounding, but how many times do you think Pina could do that if given 100 tries?
Oh, if he tried? 3, maybe. 2nd down and 10 now for the Corsairs. Handoff goes to Slaughter, running to the right. Got blockers in front of him. Into the end zone. Touchdown, UMass Dartmouth. And then a shoulder block for good measure.
Slaughter was able to get through the hole, and the Falcons did not have coverage anywhere near the hole. And he was able to just run right through to the end zone.
Michael Slaughter Jr. with his 2nd touchdown run of the season.
But
offside, defense, number 26. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
And the penalty obviously declined, so UMass Dartmouth goes up 6-0.
They're able to make that run with no risk involved as well, with the offsides against Fitchburg.
Extra point for James Tooker is up and good. So we're just 3 minutes of offense into this one. 12 minutes left to play in the first quarter, and already, Dan, UMass Dartmouth is up 7-0.
Absolutely. They handed the ball a lot to Michael Slaughter Jr., and he was able to get a lot of yards. As we mentioned, a very effective running back, Slaughter Jr. is. Averages a little over 100 yards a game. He's had 5 of those this year. And a successful drive for the Corsairs. Getting most of it done on the ground. In fact, Pina didn't complete any passes during that, so all on the ground, plus the 15-yard roughing the passer.
Yes, the roughing the passer penalty proved to be a big play there, but UMass Dartmouth moving the ball very well, capping it off with the 20-yard touchdown run for Slaughter.
8-play, 61-yard drive. It took less than 3 minutes, although 3 minutes exactly if you include the kick in that.
Josh Nelson and Herbert Acosta set back deep for Fitchburg State. Aaron Chase will kick it off for UMass Dartmouth. Chase's kick is a low spiraling thing, picked up at about the 16-yard line. Gets some blocks and finally brought down at about the 40-yard line is Herbert Acosta.
There's another one of the similarities between Dartmouth and Fitchburg. They use different players for field goals and extra points, another player for punting, and another player for kickoffs. And Aaron Chase is about the same as Zach Bingham in terms of overall stats this season.
So Fitchburg State will come out on offense for the first time today. Connor Fitzsimons, the quarterback, sophomore out of Flushing, New York. Joining him in the backfield is senior running back Javon Brown-Simpson. Fitzsimons getting signals from the sideline. Falcons have 3 receivers and Samael, the tight end. Handoff goes to Brown-Simpson, straight up the middle. Gets a couple yards, and then he's driven backwards by a handful of Corsairs. Marvy Mathurin, the first man there. Take a look at this one again.
Thurn with a team-leading 84 tackles coming into today's contest, which will be his final game. He's a senior as well from Woburn. It took at least 4 Corsairs to drive Javon Brown-Simpson to the ground, a gain of just 1 yard.
Now 2nd down and 9 for Fitchburg State. You see Fitzsimons getting signals from the sideline. Very similar offenses for both of these teams. They line up right at the line of scrimmage, fake like they're going to run a hurry-up, and then they just get the play from the sideline. Handoff up the middle to Brown-Simpson again. A little more successful, picks up maybe 4 yards, and it'll bring up a more manageable 3rd down and 6.
That time it was just Brandon Miller was able to wrap up Brown-Simpson, give him a bear hug, and take him to the ground. A few yards gained by the Falcons there, but now a 3rd and 6.
Falcons receivers, of course, you see Devon Samael, number 8. They also have Herbert Acosta and Jesse Lastra on the near sideline. Fitzsimons looking near, throws to the right side, pass is high, tipped and incomplete. He was looking for Herbert Acosta. Meanwhile, on the other side for UMass Dartmouth, Scott Tupper was looking to lay a hit in on him. Take a look at this one again. Right there, Tupper is looking to lay a hit on Acosta. He had the ball just clang off his shoulder pads because he wasn't even looking for it.
Wasn't expecting that to be an incomplete pass. And he had a shot at the ball, and he knew it once it fell out of his breadbasket.
So now 4th down, Falcons go, they get 1 first down, but then they're going to, no, they did in fact go 3 and out, my mistake. Kick is away. It is a low bouncing ball. It hits a Corsair and is finally fallen on by number 7 for UMass Dartmouth. That is Devon Fuller, the heads-up play.
As it hit the back of a Corsair leg and Corday Stafford couldn't get to the ball quickly enough. Just a mishit from Barrentos. Can't recall the last time I saw a punt quite like that.
Was an interesting punt, to say the least. A really smart heads-up play by Devon Fuller. Saw that ball hit a Corsair back, and from there, it's live. If Fitchburg State had picked it up, it would have been their ball. So that's a great play by Fuller there. You see him, number 7, just falling on the ball, and as a result, UMass Dartmouth has excellent field position for their 2nd drive of the game.
Ends up being an 11-yard punt in the end.
Pump fake by Pina on 1st down, now rolls to his right, throws to his right. Pass is caught. Taking it up the far sideline into the open field. Just like that, touchdown UMass Dartmouth, Leroy Brown.
Third touchdown of the season for Leroy Brown, the freshman from Milton, and that's, of course, the longest touchdown he's had all season long. A big, big gain for Brown. So he had the blockers, and they were able to, it was just a convoy going down the far sideline.
Take a look at this one again. Falcon defense does a good job diagnosing the swing pass, but then Brown breaks free, gets out of 1 tackle, evades another shoulder block, and then bad Leroy Brown is the fastest man in the whole darn town. He goes all the way down the sideline for the touchdown. The extra point is good. We are 5 minutes into this game, Danny, and UMass Dartmouth is already up by 2 touchdowns.
Absolutely. Big, big plays for UMass Dartmouth. They finished that last drive with a 22-yard touchdown run. This time a 56-yard pass to Leroy Brown. And the Corsairs, they've got to be smiling like butcher's dogs, up 14-0.
14-0 UMass Dartmouth, 5 minutes elapsed. If you're on the Falcon sideline, what are you saying to yourself right now?
Got to take a breath, got to reset. Still 55 minutes of football to play. Can't let those 2 plays define the whole game.
So UMass Dartmouth will kick it away once again. Acosta set up deep to return for the Falcons. Looks like he's got Jaquay Solomon there with him. And this kick is away, low, spiraling once again. It actually evades Acosta and goes all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, that was interesting.
That was, interesting is one word for it. You know, these footballs, especially when it's cold, they bounce a little unpredictably. And obviously, Herbert Acosta wasn't ready for that one. Just let it go through the end zone for a touchback.
Officially be for the maximum 65 yards.
Fitchburg State will take over 1st and 10 at their own 25. Connor Fitzsimons barking signals and now getting the play from the sideline. Fitchburg State still in their base set, 3 receivers and Javon Brown-Simpson. Brown-Simpson gets the carry on 1st down. He plunges forward for a couple of yards.
Looked like he was just tripped up there by Zach Rodericks, the junior from Westport. Didn't get very much farther after that, just 2 yards for Brown-Simpson.
Falcon offense really hasn't been able to get anything going. Brown-Simpson has 3 carries for a total of, 7 yards on this game already?
Something like that. 3 for 5, officially.
2nd down and 8 now for Fitchburg State. Brown-Simpson remains in the backfield. Play action fake. Fitzsimons rolling to his right, looking to throw to his right. Pass is high and incomplete. Out of the reach of Jesse Lastra.
Around the 40-yard line would have been a first, but to be honest, that one was overthrown, and I don't think if Lastra had made the catch, he would have come down in bounds. You can have a look at the replay and see for yourselves. Just a bit overthrown downfield, and Fitzsimons, of course, got his accuracy percentage up a lot after last week's game, but he's already missed 2 passes. He'd only missed 3 last week.
Now on 3rd down, Fitzsimons under pressure, rolls to the left, and he is sacked. The UMass Dartmouth defense stepping up big time. This time it's Raziel Pena Vargas with the sack.
And Fitzsimons is throwing his, whatever that piece of equipment is, to the sideline in frustration, not happy with how that drive progressed at all. Another 3 and out forced by the Corsairs.
Fitchburg State's offense has run 6 plays, and I don't think they've gained 6 yards. Now kicking it away again. This kick is away. High spiral, fair catch called for and made at midfield. So UMass Dartmouth, they keep getting the ball. They keep getting better and better field position. And to this point, the Falcon defense has not been able to even slow down this offensive attack from the Corsairs.
It is a very cold game today. The high expected in the upper 30s, the wind chill around the freezing point. And I guess one could say right now, UMass Dartmouth had that bus ride where I guess they were nice and toasty on their bus. They're warmed up in a sense. Fitchburg is still yet to warm up, I guess. But they're going to have to change that quickly, lest this game start to get away from them in the first.
UMass Dartmouth comes out once again in the shotgun with two running backs on either side. Handoff goes to the right side. Big gain there. Plunging through the hole and finally brought down after a gain of about 10 yards is Matt Mitchell.
Mitchell taking his time at the beginning, looking for a hole, looking for somewhere to go. Then he starts dancing through all of the battles downfield, gaining 10 yards in a first.
Needed 10, got 10. So just like that, UMass Dartmouth has it 1st and 10 at the Falcon 40. Now they run the trap to the left, and this one is just as successful. Michael Slaughter Jr., the ball carrier, he's across the 35. Mark him down at the 34-yard line after a gain of about 6 on 1st down.
Pretty much the same thing. You can see the running backs just take a brief moment. They use the shotgun formation to take a moment, look and see where they can go, and then they pounce.
One thing I've noticed, Dan, is UMass Dartmouth is running, for example, Slaughter here is lined up as the right side running back. On that play, it was a handoff to him running to the left. They don't run the running back to the side that he's on. And I think the Falcon defense is having trouble adjusting to that. Now play action. Pena wants it all. Jump ball in the end zone. This is picked off. Intercepted by the Falcons. That's Javon White who made the catch. Now the officials are debating whether or not he went into the end zone, and there's a flag down on the play.
Need to see what the flag is first. And it's against the Falcons.
5-yard penalty. That 5-yard penalty will result in UMass Dartmouth's first down.
So as it turns out, it was a free play, and never mind.
So they were discussing whether or not they were going to put Javon White at the 1 or at the 20 after all that, but it didn't even matter because it was indeed a free play, and it's good enough for a first down as well, so they have to move the chains.
So UMass Dartmouth now 1st and 10 at the Falcon 29. Play action, Pina will keep it himself, gets a block, jumps across the 25 to the 21-yard line. And he's marked down there. Slow to get up for Fitchburg State is David Desmond.
Desmond, it seemed like he collided with another Falcon as Pina went to ground.
Now UMass actually runs the hurry-up offense. Slaughter the carry. Nothing doing there for him.
Slaughter the ball carrier.
Slaughter's brought down after a loss of a couple, and there were some helmets flying. So now heading to the sideline for UMass Dartmouth is Antonio Mitchens, their captain and center.
Yeah, if it was Mitchen's helmet, that definitely came off. I don't know if there was another one out there as well, but Mitchen's for sure, and the Corsairs are going to call timeout.
UMass Dartmouth. This is their first time out of the half.
We've seen UMass Dartmouth come up to the line as if they're going to run the hurry-up and then fake a snap and take a breath, look to the sideline for signals. That time they ran up to the sideline and actually snapped the ball. It caught the Falcons off guard, but it also looked like it caught about half the Corsairs off guard at the same time.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're on the same page if you're actually going to run the play when you fake the hurry-up for once.
And UMass Dartmouth takes the timeout, so that allows Mitchens to return to the field, and the Corsairs will have their center.
Is that concerned of going to the reserve center on that?
We've seen some backup centers have some not great times in our day, Danny.
If that is something that may happen, especially when coming into the game cold, both figuratively and literally.
So after the loss on 2nd down, it'll be 3rd and a long one for the Corsairs. Slaughter just straight into the line, plunges forward. It's not fancy, but it is effective. Stop the clock, move the chains. First down, UMass Dartmouth.
Only needed a couple of yards there, well, just one really. And Slaughter knows he can gun through the line there and use his strength to muscle through and get like 6 feet or so and get what he needs for the first.
Pina, quick pass to the right side. That was a backwards pass, now throwing it into the end zone. And that pass is caught by the Falcons, but I think they're going to say no, it is an interception for Fitchburg State.
Maury Kita picks it off. Abby Bambos trying the wide receiver pass. He was looking for Michael Slaughter Jr. in the end zone. And let's have a look at this. And
Kita goes up right there. He gets his right foot down. It's a great play by Maury Kita.
the 1 foot's all you need in college football.
UMass Dartmouth tries to get fancy up by 2 scores. They wind up giving the Falcons the ball. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Second interception of the season for Maury Kita, and that's almost certainly the first for Abby Bambos.
One would think.
I don't think he's thrown the ball this year. I mean,
handoff on 1st down. Javon Brown-Simpson dives into the line, gets about a yard. Stop me if you've heard that before, Dan. It seems familiar.
It seems like UMass Dartmouth has the short run game figured out. Makes me think that they're going to have to try to go a little more to the passing game. The question is Fitzsimons comfortable with throwing long passes and the like?
Second down and 9 for the Falcons. Fitzsimons throws to the right, pass is incomplete. A little high and a little behind Jesse Lastra.
He just overcooked that one, as Lastra was open in the end.
Lastra really didn't have anybody in front of him either.
That would have been a very nice gain had it not been an overcooked pass.
So just like that, the Falcons now facing 3rd down and 10, faced with possibly squandering this gift from the Corsairs. Fitzsimons just chucks it deep to the left. Was really nobody in the area of that one. The closest receiver for Fitchburg State was, all right, Dan, who's number 11? Jesse Brown, there he is.
Yep, Jesse Brown was the closest to the ball, but he was stuck in coverage basically with the one Corsair, didn't catch his number. But now, for the Falcons, nothing going right for them except for the one interception.
And all that really results in is a punt for Fitchburg State. They will kick it away for the third time today. Jason Barrento's kick is away, low end over end, but it does take a Falcon roll. This is going to wind up being a really good kick for Barrento's. Mark it down at about the Corsair 34-yard line. That's a 46-yard punt.
Sort of the in-between of the first two punts. The first one, a very low line drive that didn't go very far at all. The second one, a very high booming punt that went a bit farther. And this one, right in the middle in terms of hang time.
The first one was too low, the second one was too high, and the third one just right.
Absolutely.
Is this porridge warm enough for you, little Bo? Wait, I just ruined my own reference. Darn it. Also, Dan, I know you are a very kind and generous man, and your generosity knows no bounds if you're going to describe that first punt as a line drive. But anyway, first down for UMass Dartmouth, and big play right off the bat. He stumbles through 3 tackles and still going up and down the far sideline, finally tackled from behind. That's Jimmy Hurtle with a big play.
Another big run for the UMass Dartmouth offense. And Hurtle just takes it, takes a hard left turn, runs up the middle. Jenry Rosario trying to make the tackle, and look at that!
How does Hurtle get out of that?
It's not something you should be escaping from. And Dylan Woods in the end has to leap and pull him down from behind. It's a big gain.
Jimmy Hurtle had a man wrapped around his waist, and then he had 2 Falcons run into him, and he just ran for another 40 yards. Okay, fine, that happens. Now first down for UMass Dartmouth. Michael Slaughter Jr. picks up a few yards. It's actually first and goal for UMass Dartmouth.
I think UMass Dartmouth has been tampering around with the difficulty sliders a little bit.
Yeah, turn the tackling back up, guys. Don't play Madden on rookie.
14-0 Corsairs, under 4.5 to go in the first quarter. And they're looking for more.
Second down and goal for UMass Dartmouth from the Fitchburg 5. Trying to put a third score up here. Pina throws the fade to the near corner. Jump ball, it is caught by UMass Dartmouth, and that is a touchdown. Abby Bambos with the catch.
Abby Bambos remembering old times. A touchdown in Fitchburg. That's something he's very familiar with.
Bambos proving he's a better receiver than he is a quarterback. A great catch there. Just lets that ball fall right into the basket, tiptoes down the sideline, and he picks up 6 points. Took her on for his third extra point attempt of the game. And this one is good. So with 3:50 to play in the first quarter of action here, it is 21-0 UMass Dartmouth, and frankly, Dan, it hasn't even been that close.
Not at all. UMass Dartmouth knows what they need to do offensively, and they are exploiting that run game for fun and profit.
UMass Dartmouth has had the ball 4 times, and in those 4 drives, it has been march down the field for a touchdown, 1 play 56-yard touchdown, march down the field and throw a pick on a trick play for some reason, and then get a big play and score a touchdown.
Absolutely. This Dartmouth offense now with 129 yards on the ground and 56 more through the air. That was just on 1 pass. 1 for 5 combined they are. But that 1 pass, 56 yards and a touchdown. And for Fitchburg, is the best word I have to describe
it's
how
a really
this has gone.
good word. I honestly, Dan, I am not exaggerating here. I do not believe the Falcons have positive offensive yardage. Is that true?
Let's see. Live Stats don't want to acknowledge Connor Fitzsimons right now.
This kickoff is picked up by one of the up men for Fitchburg State, and just plunging forward to about the 43-yard line is, in fact, number 43, Derek Prack, with his first kick return of the season, I assume.
Derek Prack picks up, well, a few yards on that, trying to make good as an up man. And I'm looking to see if that was his first. Actually, it was his second.
Hey, how about Derek Prack getting to touch the ball? First and 10 Falcons at their own 35-yard line. No real personnel changes for them. Still 3 receivers, Samael the tight end, Javon Brown-Simpson in the backfield. And Brown-Simpson goes straight up the middle for absolutely nothing on first down. And Danny, stop me if you've heard that before.
I don't think I've heard nothing at all. I've heard at least positive gains. But like I said, I think UMass Dartmouth has this run game figured out. And I was going to say they should try some other plays, but on the last drive, we saw Fitzsimons try to go through the air, and he was just not comfortable throwing the ball, it seemed.
We saw last week Fitchburg State had some success with the outside runs and with short passes that were like long handoffs. Now they run the jet sweep on this one. Ball's in the hand of Acosta, and he's wrapped up near the line of scrimmage.
That is going to be a minus play. Loss of a yard. They try something different, and even that doesn't work. Acosta able to shake off this tackle, and there was some helmet-to-helmet there as well. Obviously nothing like targeting or whatever, it's just a football play. Although you don't like to see that helmet-to-helmet contact anyway. Regardless, Acosta doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 11.
3 receivers to the far side, only Samael lined up on the near side for the Falcons. Fitzsimons throwing long to the right side. Samael is there. The pass is a little overthrown and incomplete, and the Falcons go 3 and out.
Again, I do not believe the Falcons have a first down today.
They do not. Falcons have, we just went over how UMass Dartmouth has done with their 4 possessions. Fitchburg State's 3 possessions have been 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and 3 and out.
Average game per rush is 0.1 right now.
I don't think that's good. Dan, is that good?
That is not good. They're ruining my narrative.
Barretos' kick is away, bounces at the 30-yard line and goes out of bounds there. I'm sorry, they're ruining your narrative?
I said this was going to be a close game. These are similar teams. They've played similar styles of football. They have similar statistics. It should be a close game. And what is this?
A miserable little pile of secrets? No, that's a man. This is a blowout in the making.
It is. This game has gone about as well as you possibly could have hoped for UMass Dartmouth Open. And for Fitchburg, it's gone about as poorly as you possibly could have imagined.
And meanwhile, this first quarter has taken about as long as the entire first half of last week's game.
Yeah, we got the first half done in under an hour.
2:15 to play in the first period here. UMass Dartmouth takes over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Yep.
Jace Pina getting signals from the near sideline. He has Michael Slaughter Jr. in the backfield with him. Randy Butler also out there. Pina will throw to the left, wide open catch, 1st down and more. Across the 40 to the 45-yard line is Abby Bambos.
And there is the first pass that Jace Pina has thrown today that wasn't a touchdown. And a throw to the right side for Abby Bambos, still effective, still a 1st down.
He'll take it. When your worst completion is a 14-yard 1st down, I think you'll take it. 1st and 10 Corsairs at their own 44-yard line. Pitch to the right side to Slaughter. Breaks out of 1 tackle, leans forward, winds up getting about 5 yards.
And Slaughter very hard to take down. You could see him break out of a shoestring tackle, and one of the Falcons slow to get up.
I believe that's Malik Crowford.
Indeed it is. Slow to get up, but he is going to stay in the game.
Shake it off. 2nd down and 6 for the Corsairs. 2 men in the backfield for them. That's Slaughter and Butler. Handoff goes to Butler, running to the left side. He breaks out of a couple of tackles, plunges forward, and gets a 1st down. These UMass Dartmouth running backs, Dan, are very effective at breaking out of the first couple of tackles.
Indeed they are. They're just difficult to take down.
Meanwhile, back to live action, handoff straight up the middle. Plunges forward, does Michael Slaughter Jr., gets about 5 yards.
They've slipped out of so many tackles today.
Now the Corsairs hurrying up. Handoff goes to Slaughter once again. He dives forward. He's got himself a first down. UMass Dartmouth must really like attacking this left side end zone. They are hurrying up, trying to get as many plays in as they can before the end of this first quarter.
Yeah, there must be some affinity to this end zone, I guess.
Handoff goes to Slaughter. This time he's finally wrapped up in the backfield. They are going to say that his forward progress was stopped before he loses the football. And finally, we reach the end of what has been a disastrous first quarter if you are a fan of the Fitchburg Falcons.
And if you're a fan of the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs, you got to be pretty happy with that first quarter performance.
I would think.
Again, it went about as well as you possibly could have hoped for. Jace Pena 2 for 5 for 62 yards. That's not right. It's 3 for 7 now. What happens when the live stats lag a little bit? 3 for 6 for 77 is what it is. 2 touchdowns. Michael Slaughter Jr. 12 for 68 and a touchdown. Of course, we cannot forget Jimmy Hurtle's 57-yard run as well. And for the Falcons, Javon Brown-Simpson has 5 carries for 5 yards, and that is all the live stats want to tell me.
On the other side, Dan, if you are the Falcons, it's only one quarter. This team has, at points, scored 21 points in games. They are, at least in theory, not out of this one yet. If you are Patrick Haverty, what are you telling your guys right now?
I have no idea.
There's not a lot to build on in this first quarter. It's, oftentimes, during the season, you get blown out, you just destroy the game tape. You say, we're not talking about it, it's over, it's done with, it's gone. You can't really do that in the middle of a game like this, can you?
It'd be difficult to. I mean, try to think in your heads, reset, and try to think of it as a whole new ball game, 0-0.
They can do that all they like. Unfortunately, it is 21-0. And here with the second quarter of action, I'll hand over play-by-play duties to Mr. Dan Bolak.
Thank you very much, John. So it is a handoff to the right side. Hurtle, trying to hurdle over a man. He'll be taken out of bounds. See how much he got on that one. Didn't get enough for a first. As Alamo makes the tackle, and they'll spot him at around the 27-yard line. They'll bring up another third down. You can see him run to the right side into the massive Corsairs. And now Pena looking, throwing left side. Wants Bambos again. He's got Bambos again. Touchdown, Corsairs.
I think that was a free play for UMass Dartmouth.
26-yard touchdown reception.
They made the most of it. Beautifully thrown ball by Pena. And a great catch by Bambos as well.
Pretty much the same as the last touchdown pass to Bambos.
Just longer.
Yep. And you have to think for Bambos, he must love playing here in Fitchburg just for the fact he was a Red Raider. Will build is from Worcester. Pena will hold for the extra point from Tooker. That is up, and that is good. 14:20 to go. Second quarter, Fitchburg 0, UMass Dartmouth 28.
So second verse, same as the first, at least thus far, for Fitchburg State. As we begin the second quarter of this game, and they were not able to stop the Corsair offense.
They were not. We have not yet seen the Corsair punter today.
Do the Corsairs have a punter?
It was Finn Kearns, but I think he got hurt, so receiver Jeremy Jackson is the stand-in punter.
Well, that's it. The punter got hurt, so they went out and said, gee, golly, I guess we'll just have to score on every drive.
Apparently
oh, well.
So. We don't get to see Finn Kearns, the sophomore from Galway, Ireland.
Aw. It's a downright shame.
Yep. Second straight week we've had there's a player from another country, not the United States, as Plymouth State had a Swede on their roster last week.
They did.
One of the silly things, too, I remember looking at Plymouth State's roster for other sports. They have Swedes on almost every team, it feels like. Must be a recruiting pipeline somewhere.
I want to be in the room where they established a recruiting pipeline from Sweden to Plymouth State University.
I would love to hear how that works as well. Acosta picks it up inside the 20-yard line, runs up down the far sideline, past the 35-yard line, taken down there. And the Falcons in pursuit of a first down.
I think that's where it has to start for Fitchburg State. They've had the ball 4 times. Each time on first down, they've handed it off straight up the middle and gotten roughly nothing. I think, perhaps, if they hand the ball straight up the middle, we actually have a new quarterback in for Fitchburg State.
It's Desmond Leslie, the freshman from Windham, Maine. He's going to come into the football game. He's 3 for 8 over the air this season, 6 carries for 14 yards. I believe this is his 3rd appearance with the Falcons this year. On first down, he'll take it himself, and he did not fool that one Corsair right there. Number 90 with the best view of all, Ryan Bucko, takes down Leslie immediately.
Ryan saw Leslie make the play-action fake and just said to him, "Where do you think you're going, Bucko?" And he brought him down in the backfield.
Indeed, that is exactly how it happened, and Leslie loses a couple of yards. Again, the Falcons are trying different things. They're just not working. Now this time, Javon Brown-Simpson will take the handoff. A little more effective on second down than it would be on first. He's going to be down at the 39-yard line.
Good job there by Marvin Mathurin. We'll see here on the replay. Brown-Simpson's got a big gain ahead of him, but Mathurin just wraps him up and drags him down. Stops what would have otherwise been a very big play for the Falcon offense.
Mathurin with over 80 tackles this season, the most prolific of the linebacker core for UMass Dartmouth. Now third down, the Falcons looking for a first. And Leslie's going to pass, throws right side. This is caught by Acosta. And Acosta running forward. He's going to get the first down as he's across the 48-yard line. And there you go. The Falcons have their first, I think that's their first completion and their first down of the game.
Nothing fancy to it. It's just a swing pass out to the receiver. Herbert Acosta does most of the work by himself with second effort. But yardage is yardage, and the Falcons have finally gained some.
But amazing how difficult this game has been for the Falcons over the first 18 minutes and so. But now, 1st and 10, Desmond Leslie drops back, looks left side, throws. And this is going to be caught by Acosta, I believe. There was a flag thrown as well. It might be for defensive pass interference as well.
Pretty sure they're going to get Devon Fuller for interference. I don't even think that pass was intended for Acosta, really. We'll get the official's call.
Holding, defense, number 7. That hold is against an eligible receiver. That results in an automatic first down for Fitchburg State.
So take a look at it here. See right there, Fuller knocks down the receiver, and then Acosta winds up making the catch.
Oh, I'm not sure he did actually.
Was away from the ball. He was actually knocking down Jesse Brown, and that's what they called the penalty for.
Well, regardless, it is a first down for the Falcons. They'll take it as it goes. And Brown-Simpson finding a hole on the left side, finding some daylight. He's down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, just like that, Dan, the Falcons are getting a little bit of momentum behind them. Javon Brown-Simpson with his best run of the day picks up 12, 13 yards and a first down.
Falcons starting to build on this as Leslie will look to the sideline. Brown-Simpson again in the backfield. And now Leslie will throw right side, looking for Lastra, and that is
picked off.
Intercepted.
Scott Tupper with the pick.
Tupper with his 7th interception of the season, and just like that, the drive goes away. Tupper had that one lined up. He had the best view of all at that one, and he'll take it away.
It's tough to throw a jump ball like that when you've got excellent coverage, and on top of that, the guy you're throwing to is shorter than the guy covering him.
Scott Tupper, 5'11", 190 from Holden. He is a senior. He is playing in his last game. Lastra, 5'10", from Fort Myers, Florida, also a senior as well.
So now UMass Dartmouth is actually not in the best position for them. They'll take over 1st and 10 at about their own 2.
The one downside to picking it off at that particular spot of the field. Now, we saw the Falcons get a safety on a bad snap from about this spot on the field against Framingham. But this time, it'll be a handoff to Slaughter. Just going to go into the line, doesn't get very far, but gives them just a little more breathing room.
just a little more, although interesting that we still see UMass Dartmouth running this shotgun offense.
They have to have a lot of confidence in their center and Mitchens to make sure he can get the ball to Jace Pina. 2nd and 10 from around the 2. 11:15 to go in the second. And Pina looking to throw. He is going to throw deep downfield, and there was never a chance that ball was going to be caught.
It was a good catch by the strength and conditioning coach on the far sideline for Fitchburg State.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, much like the pylon, the strength and conditioning coach is not an eligible receiver.
And you will not receive yardage for a successful pass to that particular person. 3rd and 10 now. Pina with 2 backs in Slaughter Jr. and Butler.
Tell you, Dan, as difficult as it is to run the offense from this position, it would be even tougher if they were to have to punt the ball here.
They wouldn't have a lot to work with. Man in motion behind. Pina going to throw low bullet pass to Bambos, and that was below his knees. Once again, wasn't going to have a chance of catching that one.
Really nothing Bambos could do with that one. And really, Dan, that was the first time all day that we've seen Pina look uncomfortable. He's got his back pinned against the end line. That was not a good series for Pina, and you see his frustration there as he snaps down his chin strap.
Still fired up, even up by 4 scores, as we'll see Jeremy Jackson try to punt it away for the first time. He averages about a little over 30 yards a punt. He's only got 3 of those thus far. That happened last week. And that's high in the air. That's not gone very far. The hope for the Falcons is that they stay away from the football and don't let it hit them, and they didn't let it hit them, and it's taken at the 30-yard line.
You heard the coaches in the press box level here for Fitchburg State shouting, "Poison, poison," the signal to their players to get away from that ball, and that's just what the Falcons did.
The worst thing that could have happened is it could have hit the back of one of the Falcons, and suddenly it'd be Corsair ball, but that didn't happen, and thank goodness for that.
Meanwhile, Fitchburg State has excellent field position.
Absolutely, a 28-yard punt that will go in the books. And Desmond Leslie will have another go at it. 1st and 10 from the 30. Leslie, in one motion, was able to jump up, get the football, and hand it off to Brown Simpson. Shame he didn't get any positive yardage on that.
Dan, are you telling me that the Falcons on 1st down handed the ball straight to Javon Brown Simpson right up the middle and got nothing?
That is correct.
Nonsense.
I was just praising Desmond Leslie's athleticism there.
That was good.
Was able to do that all in one motion. Like I said, shame it didn't really go anywhere, but now on 2nd down, Leslie throws over the middle, wanted Samael, and he overthrew him. It's been a bit of a theme today.
Pass was a little over the head of Samael. Obviously, the Falcon quarterback's having trouble adjusting. It's difficult for us to remember given that we're sitting in a greenhouse, but it is very cold outside. It's got to be difficult handling and throwing that football.
Absolutely. Now we go to 3rd and 11. The Falcons today on 3rd down are 1 of 5. 3 receivers to the right. Leslie looking in that direction, rolls to the right now. Might have to consider just eating the football, and he's going to do that as he's taken out of bounds by the Corsairs' Jake Tavares, sophomore from New Bedford, taking down Leslie for a loss.
A little surprised that Leslie didn't just throw it away. He had plenty of time. He's getting away from his man, well out of the pocket. By the time he finally gets the idea to throw it away, he's driven out of bounds for a loss.
Falcons are going to go for it on 4th down because at this point you're down 4 scores. You might as well.
Down 4 scores, difficult to pin them deep for punting from the own 32-yard line. So even though it is 4th down and 13, we see the offense on the field for Fitchburg State.
And so Leslie will throw, and it's going to be intercepted, and that's again Tupper. He's got his 8th pick of the year. And, well, put it this way, if they punted it and it went into the end zone, the ball would have ended up in about the same spot.
Tupper is celebrating, but this is not the smartest play he could have done here. 4th down, knock it down, man.
Absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do on 4th down. You send it to the ground. And for Mr. Tupper, he's going to be happy that he's got 2 picks in his final collegiate game. That one doesn't help as much, but still.
No, he cost his team 12, 13 yards there. And meanwhile, heading to the sideline for Fitchburg State, really holding his arm there. That is Stephan Armand.
Stephan Armand, and I believe he is a senior as well from Lynn. Graduate of Lynn Classical, criminal justice major.
And you see him there really favoring his left arm, holding the elbow. That did not look good.
It did not. We hope the best for him. So now the Corsairs back to it. Slaughter Jr. going to the left side, trying to bounce off of everybody like a pinball, but isn't able to get very far. In fact, they're moving the marker very far backwards.
Slaughter was initially wrapped up in the backfield, see him right here, but as you said, Dan, he sheds that tackle, sheds another one, and is finally driven down after a 4-yard loss.
Now on second down, Pina looking to throw right side, and it's going to be nearly intercepted. Javon White thought he had that one, wasn't able to come away with it.
With the way that ball was fluttering up there and there was nobody around it, it was almost like a punt return opportunity for Javon White. See him come in from the right side, break on the ball. Oh, he had grass in front of him. He knew he had 6 points there, and he couldn't make the catch.
And we have a timeout called by UMass Dartmouth. 8:49 to go, second quarter. The Corsairs lead by a score of 28-0.
And I think this is a really good timeout by UMass Dartmouth. We've seen their last couple of possessions. Their offense has floundered. They've turned the ball over. Their quarterback has lost whatever touch he had on the ball. They are looking a little frazzled right now. And obviously, you're up by 4 scores. You're not in danger of losing this lead right away or anything. But they're unraveling a little bit, and it's good for them to just take a breath and recenter.
Absolutely, take a breather. And this UMass Dartmouth team, we mentioned they lost 4 in a row, but their last one was against Western Connecticut, 17-13. And until the last couple of weeks, that was Western's only loss, which was a surprising result. So you know that UMass Dartmouth can play to the occasion and play strong against a very strong team.
Yeah, looking at this UMass Dartmouth attack right now, they do not look like a team with their record. They have come into Elliott Field and for the first quarter of action, just run all over the Falcons today.
They've downright dominated the opening 15 and a little more. But right now, they've sputtered to a stop. Need to put more petrol in the tank, perhaps. But Slaughter's going to take this one on third down. Maybe get just past the original 1st and 10 marker, but not much farther, and it's going to be another punt coming. Kyrique Watford able to wrap up Slaughter Jr.'s ankle and take him down from there.
I was going to say, good work by Watford, manages to hold on to the tackle this time. And now we've got an official's timeout.
That's one of the
Just
Falcons.
a little play clock issue. And also an injury on the far sideline. That is Watford. Kyrique Watford hobbles off the field.
Yep. He's favoring that right foot. We'll give him the medical attention he needs on the sideline. The low snap. He's able to get it away, drive it downfield. And the Falcons will take the fair catch right at the 50-yard line.
Herbert Acosta did a good job basically diving to the ground as he made that catch. Punt came up a little shorter than he expected it to.
And at that point, he's trying to make sure he makes that catch because of the fear that if that ball bounces, it's going to hit you in the stomach, and then Dartmouth's going to jump on it.
Nothing good happens in that situation.
Indeed. Leslie back out there for Fitchburg. Brown Simpson trying to run to the right side, trying to find the hole. It never came.
Oh, Dan.
Yes?
Do you mean to imply, and I don't mean to, stop me if I'm wrong, are you saying that the Falcons handed the ball off on first down to Javon Brown Simpson, straight up the middle, and got nothing? I find this interesting.
Well, they got a yard, which is a little more than nothing, but it has been what has happened most of the day is Leslie rolling left side, and that one broken up. They wanted Samael, but it ends up going off of the back of Jacob Burkhead.
It was a really good defensive play by Burkhead. He was able to reach in and swat that ball away. Take a look at it again. Looked like Samael had a step, but Burkhead was able to reach around him and get the ball swatted away. Sets up 3rd down and long.
Burkhead leads the Corsairs defensive backs in tackles this season, although that was only a 2nd pass breakup from what I could see. As Leslie, trouble in the pocket, he's not going to escape, and it's a sack.
Marvy Mathurin, we've called his name plenty of times today.
His 5th sack of the season, I believe, for Mathurin, and now over 15 tackles for loss. This comes right in and is able to wrap up Leslie. Never really found an option to throw to.
Great coverage downfield. Pass blocking only holds up for so long. Mathurin was able to come in and get the sack.
Barrentos had to take a step back and wasn't able to get a comfortable punt there. In fact, the ball is only going to make it to the 40-yard line. Only about a 15-yard punt there.
As you said, Dan, that snap very nearly went over the head of Zach Barrentos. He did a good job just taking a step back and taking the ball in before finally managing to kick it away.
Dartmouth was able to get to the ball pretty quickly. It was going to be difficult just to get something off there. At least he was. Let's have a look at it again.
See there, the high snap, punter has to drop back, and that sets off the timing of the whole thing. Just barely able to get that away before it's blocked.
Now will be UMass Dartmouth again with another set of downs, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Pina makes the throw a little bit, but ends up handing it off to Slaughter Jr. Runs around, breaks some tackles. He's got a 1st down. Just like that, he's into Falcon territory with a 17-yard gain.
I feel like this is the 10th time today that we've stopped and said, how exactly did he break that tackle? Slaughter was wrapped up by 2 different Falcons, and he was able to break free, get 5 more yards, and a 1st down. Why not?
Everything rolling for UMass Dartmouth today. Another 1st down for them. Pina, quick throw over the middle. This one is caught. And a whistle as well, as that was Adam Mclaughlin making that.
Roughing the passer, 95 defense. That penalty assessed at the end of the play, automatic 1st down.
So the catch is good for a 1st down, and then tack on 15 more at the end of it for roughing the passer.
That's the 2nd time the Falcons been caught for that today.
This is going to set the Corsairs up deep in Fitchburg territory. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Falcon 18.
Yeah.
Defense for Fitchburg State playing without Kyrie Watford. Saw him leave the field at the end of the last drive.
And now Slaughter Jr. nearly blew a tire, was able to keep himself upright and push forward for some yards.
Picked up about 3 on the play.
Slaughter Jr. having a great senior day. He's already got a touchdown, over 70 yards running here in this 1st half. Falcons
I don't
faithful.
think it's senior day for the visiting team too, Dan. That's not fair. He had a senior day. He doesn't get to come in and ruin ours. I mean, he totally is, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, he had his fun 2 weeks ago, but now he's having more fun. Is this one thrown to the right side? That was Jimmy Hurtle who had that one.
Hurtle did a good job running off tackle right, just spreading out wide.
Now under 5 to go in this 1st half. The Corsairs looking for more. Third down, about 4 to go. Again in this familiar formation. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs in the shotgun. They're going to go to Slaughter. And he's not going to be able to get to the hole that time. Wrapped up by almost everybody.
Pretty much. David Bednar's probably laid in the first hit.
Now a
Henry Rosario was in as well.
4th down from the 15-yard line, and James Tooker is going to come out and try a field goal.
Took her 6 of 11 on the year, as long as 39. We'll have a look at this third down play again. This time the Falcon defense does a really good job diagnosing the run to the left, and they're able to swarm up Slaughter before he's able to do anything with it.
Looks like it'll be 31 yards. About a straight shot. That one is up, and that one is good.
31-yard field goal is good.
Tucker tacks on a field goal for the Corsairs. 3:47 to go in the second. 31-0 they lead.
A 31-yard field goal makes it 31-0. UMass Dartmouth is absolutely dominating this one. One bright spot for the Falcons, perhaps the only bright spot for the Falcons. They do get the ball back to start the second half.
They will get the ball back to start the second half. This game goes farther and farther out of reach.
So I'm sure, I mean, at this point, if you're trying to figure out how the Falcons come back and win this one, which, okay, there are better hobbies, but whatever, they pretty much have to score here and then score on the first possession. And then, you know, there's a quarter and 2/3 left and you're only down by 17 points. That's almost conceivable, right?
Absolutely. Take it one play at a time. You can't score 31 points on one drive.
No. That would be a very good drive.
It would be the best drive. But nonetheless, the Falcons, they're still in it. It's going to be very difficult. But just take it one drive at a time. Acosta will haul it in around the 22-yard line, try to get as much yardage as he can down the far sideline.
Thought he was initially driven out of bounds at about the 30, but he was able to stay on his feet, stay on the field of play, pick up about 9 more.
Got all the way to around the 40-yard line.
He was out of bounds actually at about the 31, just barely so. Dives forward, gets another 8 yards. Falcons will take it.
Absolutely, they'll take that break. So we see Desmond Leslie re-enter the contest. Native of Wyndham, Maine. On first down, gives it to Brown Simpson, and I don't really need to tell you the result of this play. It's the same as all the other ones.
Falcons have had trouble on the last couple of snaps, and we see once again another high snap. Leslie had to leap up and catch this one. We saw that on a previous possession of theirs and also on their last punt.
The second down, about a yard gained on that one. This time it is Brown Simpson again, goes to the right side. But he's not getting a whole lot. He's going to be down just short of the 45-yard line. A couple more yards to gain. It brings up a manageable third down.
Be third and about 4.
Gonna have to try to think a throw is what I would recommend, as challenging as it may be right now. They're gonna try a run. They're gonna try Brown Simpson again, and that time they get the first down. What do I know, right?
What do you know indeed? Hey, I've been wrong before.
Absolutely. I'm willing to admit, we're both willing to admit when we're wrong.
Yes, it happens very often. We need to be.
Absolutely.
Great blocking by the Falcon offensive line. You see Brown Simpson, and here on first down, Brown Simpson up the middle. He actually gets something. Gain of about 6 for him. Falcon offense staying on the ground even as they try to put points on the board quickly.
That one they went with the hurry up, and they were able to catch the Corsairs off guard enough to the point that they were able to get a good few yards on that one. Hard snap, but not hurry up this time. Leslie got his signal. High snap, does that same motion again, reaches up, pulls the ball down, and in one motion gives it to Javon Brown Simpson. Not going to get as much as that one, but he's inside the 35-yard line.
Saw there Leslie leaping up to catch that snap. Now third down and 3. Brown Simpson unable to pick up the first down on that one.
Now Leslie gets the snap high, now rolls to the right side, looking to throw, and that ball is nowhere.
There was roughly nobody wearing yellow or white for that matter in the area of that pass.
It was hit as he threw, and that ball went nowhere in particular. On fourth down, the Falcons surely must go for it.
One would think. and the offense stays on the field.
80 seconds to go in the second quarter. Need the 31 for a first. Now Leslie will go with the run to Brown Simpson. He's, I believe, going to be short. He's close to the marker. They'll probably at least stop the clock to measure it. I don't think he got there.
I would be inclined to agree with you, Dan.
They're going to measure just in case.
They might as well.
Sometimes the markers aren't perfect on the sidelines, just like the 1st and 10 line on television isn't always in the right spot.
We do encourage folks to stick around with us at halftime. Amanda Agassi will join us again with another interview, so we look forward to hearing from Amanda. Do want to mention while we've got a second here, Thanksgiving is coming. You know, not to panic people or anything, but it's less than 2 weeks away now. We'll have a 10 o'clock kickoff from Crocker Field as the Red Raiders of Fitchburg High take on Leominster. I'm going to say he's short, man. What do you think?
I've been saying he was short before they even got the chains out, and it's very obvious.
That's about 34, 33 inches short.
About. They needed the 31 for a first. They spotted at the 32. There was never a chance, but they had to make sure.
So for the Corsairs, I think they are decent, noble, merciful people. They are going to snap the ball and kneel twice, right?
As long as the Falcons decide to let them do so, because they have all their timeouts.
I suppose that's fair. And, well, the Corsairs are not coming out in victory formation, so.
Low snap, they give it to Slaughter. Slaughter's going to go through the line, shake off a tackle or so, and he's going to get past the 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to give him the first.
Stop the clock, move the chains, first down, UMass Dartmouth. The Corsairs are playing hurry up.
So they'll hurry it up, and another run to Slaughter. Doesn't get that far this time. As Kyrique Watford is all right. He's able to wrap up both of Slaughter's legs, really.
Second and 11.
40 seconds to go. Pina. Looking for the signal now. We'll take it, fake it to Butler. Throw deep downfield. And that is going to be DPI.
David Desmond is, well, he's a very hopeful man if he thought he could get away with clotheslining the receiver downfield. That's what happened, right? I didn't hallucinate that.
I didn't get a great look at it, but I saw him go, the receiver go straight to the ground.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. That penalty assessed 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
And so we can see it on replay again. That was Malik Crowford, actually, so you were seeing things in a little sense.
I was seeing things. I'm sorry.
Well,
I apologize to David Desmond. You're a better actor than that, David.
It is worth pointing out that David did wear 25 last year.
Sure. Thank you, Dan, for giving me that excuse for having been totally wrong about a thing.
So they'll have to figure out where to put the ball. DPI is capped to 15 yards in the college game.
So UMass Dartmouth with 24 seconds and one timeout and intent on putting points on the board.
First and 10 Corsairs.
The Corsairs may have another go over the air. Pina will go with the short pass to Butler, try to dive out of bounds.
Pass is complete. Randy Butler.
Timeout, UMass Dartmouth. That is their third and final timeout of the half.
Butler wasn't quite able to get out of bounds, but the Corsairs still had a timeout left in their pocket, and they're going to use it.
Okay. Well, I suggested before this drive that UMass Dartmouth might be populated by decent, noble human beings, and obviously, I was wrong. These are, after all, pirates.
Yes, they are, in that sense. So I imagine at this point they're just going to chuck it for the end zone and see how that works out for them.
Presumably.
We haven't had a MASCAC scoreboard yet.
We have not. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go around the MASCAC, see what else is up right now.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
All right, so a couple other games, Framingham and Worcester, Bridgewater and Mass Maritime in the 39th annual Cranberry Bowl, Ocean Spray Cranberry Bowl.
Get that branding in there.
Yep.
Get that branding.
Oh, yes. Framingham's up on Worcester 21-6, and Bridgewater and Maritime, apparently it's a secret. It is a secret right now.
I see. It is a mystery.
Yep. And, of course, last night Westfield played Western Connecticut, and Westfield with a shocking 18-0 win to close out their season at 3-7. In fact,
result of the previous play was an incomplete forward down.
and so they're setting the clock to 15 seconds because the clock should not have run after the penalty.
You know, I noticed that, and I didn't say anything about it because I am a decent and noble person. But, you know. 15 seconds left. Time for 2 shots downfield.
Yep. And I guess what I was going to say with Westfield is they actually ended up winning their last 3 home games. So they beat Mass Maritime, they beat Fitchburg, and they beat Western Connecticut. And they should be proud of that last one too, as WestCon has just been so powerful this year. Surprising to see them have a misstep there, but now Pina will take the low snap, roll to the right side. The Falcons take him down, that'll end the half, but instead it's a throw to Bambos on the right side. And he was able to come down with that catch and get out of bounds.
So that'll get the Corsairs a little closer.
So about 35 yards for 6 points. Don't think that James Tooker's a 53-yard leg.
Probably not. His long on the year is 39.
So we believe this should be the last play of this half, unless they go for the really quick pass. But instead, it's a quick throw to the right side, and Bambo's trying to get out of bounds. He does get out in time, as if they stop the clock in time.
I don't think he got out of bounds nearly in time. Leroy Brown made that catch and had a chance to get out of bounds, chose to get more yardage. Take a look at it here. Right here, if he just dumps out of bounds, he's fine. But instead, he lunges forward, tries to get a little more yardage, and then dives out. And that runs off the last second of time. UMass Dartmouth goes to the halftime locker rooms only, leading this one by a score of 31-0.
Indeed, that is the case, 31-0, and it was a challenging first half, to say the least, for Fitchburg State.
It is difficult to find positives in that first half of action. We did see the Falcons wind up changing quarterbacks. Desmond Leslie came in, and he performed. Javon Brown-Simpson got some positive yardage going there at the end of the second half, a couple of 10, 15-yard runs. The defense did get one stop, and they got another one when the clock ran out. And, well, Dan, we came into this one I came into this one saying that the Falcons didn't look like a 3-6 team, and to be frank, I might have been wrong.
If this is, we saw a surprising result last night, as I said, with Westfield beating WestCon, and we're seeing another surprising result. Also, Mass Maritime is up 13-9 at halftime against Bridgewater.
Mystery solved. Let's check in with Amanda Agassi. She's down on the sideline. What do you have for us, Amanda?
Yep. Hey guys, so I am joined by Janina Brown. She is the mother of Malcolm and Javon Brown-Simpson. Malcolm graduated last year, and now it's the senior day for Javon. Just want to know, you had 2 boys come through this program. It's been a long journey. How are you feeling on another senior day?
Excited, glad and sad that it's over, but it's a long journey, and it's just great. It's great.
And do you have any favorite memories about watching your boys play together?
I think my most favorite memory was 2 years ago when we went to the playoffs in Connecticut, when, of course, both of the boys were playing, and it was just awesome.
And that's the best part, watching your boys play together. Nothing like a brotherly bond on the field.
Right.
And quickly, just some well wishes to Javon on his senior day.
Javon, it's sad but happy. And it's another chapter of your life that's down in the books, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. In about a month, we're traveling to Florida for him to play in the Daytona Bowl. And hopefully he can get some exposure there and move on, hopefully somewhere positive. But it's a sad day to see that this is his last college game.
Yes, Mom, and we are here. You know, it's an emotional day, guys, but it's a joyous day. It's beautiful out. It's a little cold, but it's sunny, and we're really excited about that. Again, senior day, joined by Javon Brown Simpson's mom. Thank you so much for joining us, and
You're
it's been a
welcome.
pleasure watching Javon and Malcolm play.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Amanda. And Dan, that really drives home that, yeah, the Falcons are getting blown out. It's 31-0. That sucks. This is about more than that. This is a really special day for all the graduating seniors.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a very emotional day. It's the last time you get to step on the field to represent your alma mater on the field. Just to play for them one last time and try to take away the memories, bring in as much as you can. Sometimes it doesn't go as well as you'd like, but you have to think of the journey, too. It's not just, I mean, this is just one part of the journey.
We're going to step aside for halftime here at Elliott Field. We will have second half action coming up. It's 31-0 UMass Dartmouth, but it is senior day here at Elliott Field on FATV. Halftime here at Elliott Field, Falcons trailing the Corsairs 31-0, but it is senior day, and that's more important, to be honest with you. It's the last home game, the last game for the graduating seniors of Fitchburg State University. We had a very powerful interview with the mother of Javon Brown Simpson, who was seen, Javon, you remember Malcolm Brown Simpson went through the Falcon program as well. That was a very nice interview that we had, and we're ready for the second half of football here. And as I bring in Danny Bolak, Dan, on the field, this game has gone about as poorly as it possibly could have for Fitchburg State.
I think that is indeed the case. It's really hard to find good ways to describe how that first half went. It was just a disaster, really. 196 net yards for UMass Dartmouth, 39 for Fitchburg. In terms of total offense, maybe even worse than that. That was just rushing yards, excuse me. Total offense, it was 330 for UMass Dartmouth and 49 for Fitchburg. And now, having some trouble picking up the football there, Javon Brown Simpson's going to try a run back here. And he'll be taken down around the 20-yard line. That was interesting.
Well, we mentioned that we were, especially in the second half, probably going to see some seniors doing things that we don't ordinarily see. And there we see Javon Brown Simpson, the senior running back, as a kick returner.
And that is something he has not done this year. And so the Falcons will start on the 20-yard line.
Fitchburg State still with Desmond Leslie in. He took over pretty much right at the start of the second quarter for the Falcons.
And we'll go with the handoff to Brown Simpson. He breaks out of a tackle, going to try to roll to the left side. Leslie was able to throw a block in there, I believe. And Brown Simpson in the end didn't actually gain any yardage after all that.
Absolutely nothing doing for Brown Simpson. Got a good block from his quarterback, but wound up losing a yard there.
And so we'll go be 2nd and 11 as Leslie will look to his right, go with the short swing pass to Brown Simpson. And Brown Simpson going to try to run as far as he can, but he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and no farther.
There's Marvy Mathurin once again for the Corsairs. Also Raziel Pena Vargas.
Mathurin was part of 7 tackles in the first half. 5 solo, 2 assisted.
A couple seniors on defense there for the Corsairs playing in their last collegiate game.
Also worth pointing out, yes, 20 seniors between these two teams, closing their careers today as Leslie rolls right. Gonna have to take it, try to get back to the line of scrimmage, try to gain something out of it. He doesn't really get much of anywhere.
Pena Vargas is there again, also Zach Rodericks. So many standouts on defense for UMass Dartmouth, and this is a familiar sight for the Falcons. They go 3 and out.
That's how the first few possessions of the game went for Fitchburg State, and it's more of the same, unfortunately. Barrentos back to punt it at around the 2-yard line. Good snap. Solid boot, looking for a positive bounce. The Falcons will get that. Corsairs will stay away from it as the ball will settle just inside the Corsair 45-yard line.
Pretty good kick there from Jason Barrentos. Falcons have had trouble on just about every side of the ball. There is a pretty good crowd on hand here. Not quite a capacity crowd at Elliott Field, but it's chilly. It's understandable. Still a good amount of folks turned out for Senior Day, so we're happy to see that.
Braving the elements here on college football Saturday.
I was wondering when you were going to get that one in.
Had to eventually.
Are Dabo Swinney and the boys going down to the swamp?
I can tell you, everyone else would probably prefer the swamp to this temperature. So Jace Pina, he's had a good game today. He'll hand off to Mike Slaughter Jr. He had 100 yards in the first half. He's got a bunch more yards here. Down at 35, 30, and that'll be taken there inside the 30-yard line. Michael Slaughter Jr., the senior from Springfield.
Michael Slaughter Jr. with a 37-yard run.
And whistles and everything happened on that play. The chains weren't even set. And Alberto Alamo took a shot there.
Number 86. 5-yard penalty.
UMass Dartmouth tried to run that hurry-up offense, caught themselves off guard. Really catching themselves off guard is the only way the Corsairs have been stopped. The one drive, I believe, UMass Dartmouth had that didn't end with either points or the end of the half ended on an interception thrown by a wide receiver.
Yep. There was that. There were a couple of punts, too. There were 2 of those.
Okay, I was wrong.
So now 1st and 15. They'll hand off. Michael Slaughter Jr. goes nowhere.
Absolutely nothing doing there. Falcon defense did a great job diagnosing that. Dylan Woods, the senior from Townsend, came in, made the hit.
Many more followed. Loss of a good chunk of yards. 2nd and pretty long. Pena throws right side. And it is complete as Matt Mitchell will try to salvage as many yards as he can out of that. It'll be 3rd and long. A 5-yard game for Mitchell, the junior from Stonington, Connecticut.
Mitchell's first catch of the day. Did have a couple carries in the first half.
And now a 4th down.
Third.
A 3rd down. I don't know why I said 4th. The Corsairs are 4 for 7 on 3rd down today. It looks like a bit of a personnel issue for the Falcons as they swap out a couple players. Benaric in for Rosario. There's a throw down on the right side, complete. They've wrapped up Leroy Brown. I think he's going to be short of the 1st down.
Pina with what would typically be described as a terribly ill-advised throw there, really. He was rolling to his right, rolling, finally spun to his left, threw against his body, but he was able to find Leroy Brown, pick up about 11 yards, and now 4th down and 3 at the 21-yard line. It would be a 38-yard field goal for Tooker, but instead the Corsairs will go for it.
It is in Tooker's range, as long as 39. But I guess with the momentum and the yards to gain as it goes, they're going to have a go at it on 4th down. This year, the Corsairs 50% on 4th down this season.
I think maybe they were just trying to draw the Falcons offside, wind up taking a timeout.
If they can try that as well, try to see if they can catch the Falcons. Make them jump before, but that's not what happened.
And really, Dan, there have been a couple of big plays for the Corsairs offensively. Pina with 3 touchdowns. He has 134 yards on just 7 completions. But the consistency hasn't really been there for the Dartmouth quarterback.
Indeed, 9 for 16 through the air. Some of those passes have looked uncomfortable. Other ones, they've been able to get a lot of yards after the catch. For most of their offense, it's come on the ground. Michael Slaughter Jr., 22 carries, 122 yards. He's been very strong in this contest. He wants his final game. He wants his collegiate career to end with a victory. And even after the timeout, UMass Dartmouth has brought the offense back onto the field.
So they are not going to kick. They are going to go for it.
So them calling timeout, I guess, was them not sure what they wanted to do exactly. Maybe they didn't like a personnel matchup, but they're going to give it to Slaughter and see what he can get. He fumbles the football. It's going to be Falcon football anyway, but they'll take it on that.
Looks like it's David Bednars who falls on the football. Take a look at this one again. They've run that trap play to the left so many times. A great job on defense for the Falcons. 26 is Maury Kita. We've called his name plenty of times today. Kita, the junior out of Pawtucket, has done a great job on defense today, and he forces the fumble there.
He is going to be one of those players that we can expect to see more of, after David Desmond's graduation. Meanwhile, Desmond Leslie goes nowhere fast.
Looked like it was Tom Janicki getting in for UMass Dartmouth, as well as a couple of other Corsairs.
Janicki, a junior from Lincoln, Rhode Island.
So now 2nd down and 16 for Fitchburg State, and any momentum they had has immediately been sapped.
For the Falcons, it's been a rough day for the quarterbacks, for Fitzsimons, for Leslie. They have one completion through the air. Looking for another. That's going to be dangerous, highly dangerous, and for the Falcons, they have to ask themselves, how did that not get intercepted? Maybe for the Corsairs as well.
Marvy Mathurin was there. There was another defender. Jacob Burkhead was there. Take a look. The ball gets tipped, goes straight up in the air. 2 different Corsairs. I mean, honestly, that's Mathurin's ball. Like, if this is a baseball play, it's like the center fielder is camped under it and the right fielder comes running in trying to make the catch. That was Mathurin's ball all the way, and Burkhead wound up knocking it away.
Now on 3rd down, a throw to the right side. This is complete. Samael's got a catch on senior day. Not going to be good enough for a first down, but he's got a catch now.
It's the first reception of the day for the Falcons' all-time leader in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Just trying to push his stats up a little more, but as we've said, it's been a challenging day for Fitchburg State. Under 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, they trail by 31.
The Falcon offense will kick it away. Jason Barrentos on for approximately the 24th time today.
He's had a lot of this practice. That's a low snap, takes a bounce on the ground. But Barrentos able to get a good one off. And we're going to see a return here to about midfield from Tony Slaughter, the junior from Springfield. I believe he's Michael's younger brother.
That would make sense. Same last name, same school. Same dominant football team.
It also brings up another one that I thought of earlier. James Droney, he's a senior playing in his final collegiate game. Linebacker from Suffield, Connecticut for the Falcons. Went to East Catholic High School.
Mm-hmm.
And UMass Dartmouth has number 42, Jack Droney, a sophomore from Suffield, Connecticut. Went to East Catholic High School.
How about that?
I think there's a relation there.
Maybe just a little. Mm-hmm. And we would be remiss if we did not mention that Zachary Hodges, the freshman offensive lineman for the Corsairs, is the brother of Jason Hodges, who just happens to be running the audio board for us today.
How about that? On 1st down, not much of anything picked up there. Jimmy Hurtle had the run there. I haven't seen him running with the ball that much today, as they've been mostly going to Michael Slaughter Jr., Matt Mitchell, and Randy Butler. Try something a little different there. Now they'll go back to the more familiar backfield of Slaughter Jr. and Mitchell. When you say it like that, sounds like a law firm.
It does, doesn't it? Now, Slaughter Jr., Mitchell, and Payne.
And we have whistle.
Timeout called. No, or the umpire is actually conferring with the referee. So. It's a penalty.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 26 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. That is number 26 for unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
So Morikita called for unsportsmanlike conduct.
during a dead ball when nothing was happening, he did something he shouldn't have done, and I can't imagine what it is, and I don't know if I want to imagine what it is.
Gonna guess language might have been involved.
That would be my guess. But nonetheless, 15 yards gifted to the Corsairs. Merry Christmas. It's 6 months. It's 6 weeks early, but there you have it.
It's cold enough for it. That's fine.
Pina looking around, under pressure. Watford right behind him. Pina throws, and for the third time today, we see a wonderful catch by someone who is not an eligible receiver.
That's true. The good news is Pina has now completed passes to the strength and conditioning coaches on both sidelines. So that's impressive.
Indeed. Equal opportunity.
That's right.
And of course, the third one was not actually a person.
No. Pylons don't have hands.
They do not. But he did an excellent job in pegging it.
Do they hold grudges, though? That's the question.
See if that comes into play. Inanimate objects can affect the outcome of this game. Mitchell gets some yards on that one. Inside the 30-yard line, third down coming. Here's the replay here.
Just good, tough running by the Corsairs. This time it was Matt Mitchell. Picked up about 5 yards. It's third down and 5.
Corsairs have to get just inside the 25-yard line for a first. And play action throw over the middle. That is caught, and that is going to be a touchdown.
Wide open is Adam Mclaughlin. First time we've called his name, I believe. Mclaughlin was able to just walk into the end zone. Take a look at this one. Everybody bites on the play fake. Mclaughlin is wide open, and he's able to cruise into the end zone.
Second touchdown catch of the season for the freshman from Taunton, Adam Mclaughlin, 6'4". Didn't need to use any of his height to pull that one in. Now let's see, can Tucker hit this extra point? Survey says yes.
Ding.
You can put that one on the board. 6:50 to go, third quarter. Fitchburg State nothing. UMass Dartmouth 38.
Jace Pina's 4th touchdown of the day, unless I miscounted. I think I got that right.
I believe you definitely got that right. For UMass Dartmouth, it's like, as I'd mentioned, one of the narratives, they never lost 3 in a row to Fitchburg before.
I think they're going to continue that particular narrative.
I believe they will. Pina now 10 for 18, 180 yards and 4 touchdowns. Maybe have a look and see if that's a career high for touchdown throws. He had 10 coming into today, and then he had 3 last week, so he had 7 before that. Sounds like it's a good odds that that's probably a career high for him.
Probably. Halfway through the third quarter here, Falcon defense was able to at least slow down the Corsairs on that drive, if not stop them.
Came close, but weren't able to come away with it. Here's Brown Simpson, who will take this run back. He's at the 30-yard line. Still on his feet, was not tackled. And he's able to run laterally and not gain any additional yardage, but good effort for trying, though.
Take a look at this one on the replay. Brown Simpson gets some good blocking initially. And right there, he's hit, not quite driven down. Unfortunately, unable to get anything else after the play. Really good stop there for UMass Dartmouth by Pedro Del Toro Jr., working special teams.
I have pulled up Jace Pina's numbers, by the way, and he had three touchdown games. So this is his first 4-touchdown game. He didn't play at all last year, so as a sophomore, this is a career high for him in touchdown throws.
That's pretty good for him.
And congrats for that. First down, that's incomplete, punched away by the defensive back for the Corsairs. That is number 7, and that is Devon Fuller.
We've seen Fuller a couple of times today making some good plays. This time he just reaches in and swats that ball away. It was intended for Jesse Brown.
Fuller has 5 breakups this season coming into today's game. On second down, they'll go with the run. Devon Brown Simpson trying to get around the pile. Form the rugby maul, but doesn't get them much farther. And does turn into positive yardage at least, but it'll be another third down.
The great shot there from behind the end zone. Marvy Mathurin comes up on the blitz, gets into the backfield rather, and just breaks up the whole play. Falcons can't get anything going if they can't get their blocking straight.
Absolutely. Now 3rd down. Leslie drops back. Has he got time? No, he hasn't.
Leslie is sacked.
Tony Slaughter.
Unblocked is Tony Slaughter coming on the corner blitz. He had a direct line to the quarterback, and he did not miss. Take a look at this one. Slaughter's going to come in from the top of your screen. There's just nobody there. The left tackle is busy blocking the defensive end. There's nobody else on that side of the field. He comes in untouched.
So once again, Jason Barrentos gets to do his job, punt this one away, takes a friendly bounce at midfield. Corsairs don't want anything to do with it. It'll roll to about the 35-yard line.
It's a pretty good punt, all things considered.
He's doing pretty well at that now. He's had a few good ones in a row.
That's not to be confused with a pretty good punt, wait, don't tell me, or a pretty good punt, car talk. It's a pretty good punt, all things considered. These NPR jokes doing anything for you?
At least I got them. National Public Radio. So now 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 20 minutes of football remain in the 2017 campaigns for Fitchburg State University and the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth.
Dartmouth offense taking the field yet again.
We've had a lot of work. I wonder, we should probably see Matt Lowe today at some point for UMass Dartmouth. He's a senior as well. On 1st down, a run to the right side for Mitchell. And he's going to get about 8-9 yards. Very successful run there on the right side.
I will say I am a little surprised to see the starters still out on the field on offense for UMass Dartmouth. But maybe they'll just play the 3 quarters. Or maybe they'll play the whole game and score 60 points, and that'll be fun for them.
That'd be taking it a little too far personally, but you don't know. We don't know what to expect. They did put up 51 on Westfield earlier this year. One never knows what to expect sometimes when you get games like this where everything is going better than you could have possibly dreamed. As Pina faked the handoff, looks right side. That is caught. That's going to be a 1st down for UMass Dartmouth. It's Jeremy Jackson, the
punter and also receiver.
Yep, mainly a receiver, but he's been mostly punting today. That might be his 1st catch of the day.
I believe it is.
See, it's the first time we've called his name to not kick the ball. And it's 1st and 10 for the Corsairs as they have entered Falcon territory yet again. Bit of a different formation this time.
Just the one running back, a couple of tight ends.
Yeah, Micah Gregory, one of those tight ends as well, number 19. A shovel pass is incomplete. He throws it underhand, but it went clearly forward, so they've got to kill the play.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting play.
It didn't work, but
I can see the idea.
I
It's basically set up a little bubble screen, but
you know, the Falcons and Connor Fitzsimons have done that a few times over the last few weeks. Try those short shovel passes, see what they can get. They even got a touchdown on it against Western. Go ahead.
There you saw Abby Bambos, once again, the former Raiders standout, having himself a good day.
And now Mitchell, he's able to haul that one in after it went off his fingertips twice. And he's able to get a good chunk of yardage. Not enough for the 1st, but he's pretty close to one inside the 40-yard line.
Take a look at this one. And again, they do a good job setting up the swing pass to the left side. And Mitchell is very fortunate that he's able to bring in the ball after the deflection. Doesn't quite get the 1st down, but it's very close.
Good on him for not giving up on that play, too, and giving up on the ball, even when he was having trouble with it once, twice off his fingertips. Corsairs going for a 1st, and they're going to have it from Michael Slaughter Jr. down at the 35-yard line. Reset the markers, move the chains. It's another 1st down for UMass Dartmouth.
Corsair offense is taking their time, not really going for the home run yet. But all the same, the Falcons can't really stop them as they march downfield.
Another 1st and 10 for the Corsairs. On the 35-yard line, dual striped in black and white. Pina looks forward, throws, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Abby Bambos.
Bambos had a step on his defender.
Would you like to know why the 35-yard line has a black and white stripe?
You know, I was going to ask, but then I didn't. But please tell me.
That's because that is a line used for women's lacrosse.
Okay. What does that signify in women's lacrosse?
That is the offensive zone.
Okay.
And there are limits to how many players you can have in the offensive zone.
So it's kind of like the paint in basketball.
Essentially, in a sense.
Okay.
Actually, there's a better term for that, but that's a different discussion, as this is Butler who takes that pass to the right side, or long pitch, or what have you it was. Good few yards there.
You know what, Dan? It is 38-0. I demand that you explain to me how my basketball analogy was flawed.
You see, there are a couple other lines. You see the black arcs inside the 20-yard line.
I do see those.
They're the 12-yard and 8-yard arcs, and there are actually, and the 8-yard arc actually works in much the same way as the paint does in basketball.
I see. Okay.
So that's why I was saying that wasn't exactly the greatest analogy.
I got you, because there's a better area that's more like the paint.
Absolutely.
This makes sense.
And so a fake handoff to Hurtle, and Pina will take it himself, and we'll get to the 30-yard line. Now it's 4th down as they're not quite able to get to the 25-yard line, which has red X's in it.
Right.
And that is because that's a field hockey line.
Okay. What does that mean in field hockey?
That's the 23-meter line, or 25-yard line.
Right.
And I think that just indicates, now that I think of it, I think that more just marks the offensive zone from the neutral zone, which is the 25 to 25.
I see.
And these are all things I've learned over my years of calling games with Fitchburg State University. Field hockey, women's lacrosse, basketball, and the like. They go for it on 4th down. Pina with time. He's going to throw towards the end zone, and that is going to be incomplete. The pass coverage was strong, not drawing of a penalty for the Falcons, and so they'll force the turnover. I believe that was Kita. Indeed it was, with the defensive coverage. And oh boy, Adam Mclaughlin is hurt.
We saw Mclaughlin have one touchdown earlier, obviously favoring his left knee there.
Dartmouth turned it over on downs.
Take a look at this one again. From back behind the end zone, they run play action, just go for it all. Well covered ball, and you see Mclaughlin comes down pretty much on his left knee, and he's still receiving treatment in the end zone.
Indeed, Kita didn't come up with the interception. It would have only hurt Fitchburg if they had. But now Mclaughlin, he helps the sidelines now. And as always, we hope he's all right.
Hopefully a good sign to see him walking off. He is being assisted, but didn't see anything on the replay that would indicate it to be a catastrophic injury.
And we'll hope the best for him. 38 more seconds left in this third quarter. Falcons looking for whatever they can get.
We'll take a look at this one again. See how Mclaughlin comes down on his left knee. I think Kita might have landed on his left knee as well.
That is very possible as well. The first down play was an incomplete pass to Devon Samael on the right side.
But as you saw there on the replay, I think it was the left hip of Maury Kita that came down and landed on Adam Mclaughlin's left knee. So hopefully it's just hurt.
Hopefully. And now on 2nd down, Brown Simpson with another attempted carry, and he does not gain yardage. He loses one.
This Corsair defense is just swarming all over the Falcon offense right now.
That run defense very strong for the Corsairs coming into today, 135.7 yards given up per game. That's 3rd in the conference. We actually saw last week Plymouth State, who was best in the conference, and Fitchburg did better against them. As Leslie tries to throw a short pass, this is complete for Samael. Samael tries to shake off a defender. He's able to do that. He's running down the far sideline and pushed out of bounds around the Corsair 40-yard line. And that is going to bring an end to the third quarter.
Devon Samael with the best offensive play of the second half for the Falcons. Just takes the catch in the backfield on the little swing pass. We'll see it here on the replay. It's really not that fancy a play, just a little swing pass out to Samael. He's got yardage in front of him, and then right there he's able to stiff arm a Corsair and cut down the sideline here. Finally knocked out of bounds inside UMass Dartmouth territory. Danny, don't quote me on this, but is this the first time the Falcons have been in Corsair territory today?
I don't think it's the first time they've been in Corsair territory, but it's definitely...
Also, hold on, I think I'm wrong. Did they just move the ball so they changed ends and they're not in Corsair territory? Am I dumb? I think I'm dumb.
No, they haven't moved the ball yet. Now they will into Corsair.
Okay, I'm not dumb. Hey, I'm not dumb.
Hooray.
Yay.
So
it's the little things that make me happy, like not being dumb sometimes.
got to make that degree worth it.
That's right. I went to school. I know maths.
Yes.
I know that sometimes you say it with an S if you're British.
I know I've done that as well.
You said petrol earlier in this game. So, yes, I think you do know when to be British sometimes.
Too much influence from Top Gear. And now the Grand Tour, who start next month, by the way. The shameless plug for those guys because I love them so much.
It's a very shameless plug because they need it. They absolutely need it. While we're shamelessly plugging things that we like, listen to Critical Hit. It's a good podcast. There we go. So we'll start the fourth quarter of action. Desmond Leslie, the quarterback for the Falcons, under pressure, pump fakes, and he is going to be sacked. Loses the football. Ball is loose. I think a Falcon lineman fell on it, but don't quote me on that.
That could go either way based on how it, and since nobody is making dramatic gestures for UMass Dartmouth, Fitchburg did indeed get on top of that, and that, I believe, was Darius Morkeski. And I won't call jinx on that, but that is a loss of several yards.
So the blocking breaks down immediately. Leslie tries to make something out of it. Then the ball comes loose, and somehow Morkeski winds up with the football.
And Jake Tavares had a great shout at it as well for the Corsairs.
Second down and 14 now. Pump fake pass deep down the right sideline is incomplete. Intended for Lastra. A couple of different Corsairs there on defense. I think Raziel Pena-Vargas made a good hit on Lastra.
Pena-Vargas, a senior from Lynn. Falcons have a few players from Lynn, although interestingly enough, of Pena-Vargas into Coral Glades in Florida, and not one of the many schools in the Lynn area.
Third down and 15 now. Leslie rolls left and throws left. Pass falls incomplete. Intended for Devon Samael. Fitchburg State will kick it away. Have a look at this one again.
Samael definitely the intended target. He just wasn't able to close his hands on it quickly enough. Even Acosta nearly had a shot at it, but in the end, the change of direction with the end of the quarter did not do well for Fitchburg.
Jason Barrentos will kick it away once again. Tony Slaughterdeep to return for the Corsairs. Barrentos' kick is high, end over end. Fair catch called for and made at the 16-yard line. So UMass Dartmouth will take over once again. 13:55 to go here on Senior Day, leading this one 38-0. And it'll be interesting to see who all comes out on offense for the Corsairs. It looks like it's still going to be the starters. I see Jace Pina. I see Michael Slaughter Jr.
Corsairs first and 10 from their own 19.
So 1st and 10, UMass Dartmouth at the 19-yard line. Now, Danny, you've run that crew. What are those guys saying to each other right now?
I have no idea. They're probably just making random conversation. But you're right. I'd spent a year on the chain gang.
We almost got through, I think, an entire season of Falcon football without me mentioning that one time you got run over. That was funny.
Yes.
First down pass for Pina is complete. Abby Bambo's the catch. I'm sorry, that was mean.
That's all right. That's a funny memory.
Oh, good. I'm not sorry anymore. I thought it was fun.
I'm just trying to remember the Falcon who ran me over.
You know, memory loss is a sign. Oh, never. 1st and 10 Corsairs at the 29-yard line. I really shouldn't be making concussion jokes at a football game, should I?
No, you shouldn't.
No? Okay. Pena takes the, no, he does not take the low snap. Ball is loose. Pena falls on it at about the 13-yard line. It's a loss of about 16 yards after a bad snap.
We've seen some questionable snaps today, but that was the one that didn't work out so well for him. At that point, Pena's just got to jump on the football, cover it up, and hope for the best. It was Talib Barksdale, by the way.
There you go.
I only found out it was Barksdale when I told the story to him, and he remembered he was the one who ran me over.
Oh, hey, that was me.
Yes, it
I
was.
remember that. Winds up being a 16-yard loss for the Corsairs. If the Falcons can't stop them, they'll stop themselves. Play action fake pass over the middle is complete, and they won't even stop themselves, as it turns out.
Get most of the yards back with that one. A quick throw.
Jeremy Jackson the catch.
Again, it's surprising. We haven't seen as much of Jackson as we would have expected, but I think, in a sense, they're trying to protect his leg.
3rd down and 3 now for Dartmouth. It's a pretty impressive turnaround to go from 2nd and 26 to 3rd and 3. Pena takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's got plenty of room in front of him. 1st down and more. Ball comes out as he goes down. I thought he was down.
I also thought he was down.
I think the officials are ruling that as well. They're going to mark 1st down for the Corsairs, even though Fitchburg State comes out of the pile with the ball.
I think he had his back on the ground once the ball had come out, although the cameras never lie.
This is a designed run all the way. Pena does a good job, and then right here, that's a tough call. We can't exactly see when the ball comes out. Now we've got a stoppage of play here.
It was very close, to say the least.
I think the head linesman is indicating unsportsmanlike against the Falcons.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 1, Fitchburg. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down. That is number 1, first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
I think the stranger part about that is the fact that Javon Brown-Simpson wasn't even on the field when that happened.
Well, it did come from the head linesman, and he is right next to the play. Take a look at this replay again. It's really tough to tell when that ball comes out. It might have been out before he was down, to be honest with you.
It might have been. It was that close, but I guess in a 38-0 game.
Actually, right there, I think the ball is out. You see right there on the left side, it comes out of the quarterback's hands before he's down.
We can't see his knees very well,
we can't see
though.
his knee, though. It's really tough to tell.
I don't think you could overturn that even if we had the instant replay here at the Division III level.
Meanwhile, Slaughter is breaking tackles into the open field and finally dragged down. Michael Slaughter Jr. with another 1st down.
What a day he's had.
What a day almost all of these Corsairs have had, but Slaughter especially.
Yes, absolutely. 24 for 123 before that run.
That'll put him up around 135 yards on the day. Pena calling signals. Play action fake, looking left, throws left. Nobody there. Bambos was in the area, but the pass was never going to get to him.
Bambos was tied up there with David Desmond. They were both battling for space down the field, and Bambos couldn't break free from Desmond before the pass was thrown.
So now 2nd down for UMass Dartmouth as they look to extend their fairly comfortable lead. I think this is going to be a free play for Pena. He is going to be sacked, but something tells me they're going to wind up gaining 5 yards.
Absolutely. I could even, looking through my binoculars, I could see the jump. Definitely on the line.
And that is the indication, so 5 yards against the Falcons.
Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. Remains. 2nd down.
couple of different Falcons jump the snap. I'm surprised they didn't whistle the center for moving there, but they let UMass Dartmouth get a free play. Wound up just getting the offsides anyway.
They had the free play, but again, of course, the Falcons defense, perhaps because of the offsides, they were able to make the best of that play.
Now 2nd down and 5. Quick pass over the middle is tipped and incomplete. Just falls in among 3 Falcons. None of them could get to it. We'll have a look at this one again. They've gone to this quick slant over the middle a few times. That time the Falcon defense was ready. Knocked it up in the air, but nobody there to make the pick.
Benarek with the closest shot at all. Micah Gregory lands on top of them, then helps him back up. Good sportsmanship.
3rd down and 5 now coming up for Dartmouth. They need to get to the 12-yard line for a 1st down. And they'll try to do so on the ground. Slaughter the ball carrier, breaking tackles. He gets to about the 15, but he is going to be stopped short of the line to gain.
4 on the play.
So now 4th down and 1. Corsairs leading this one by 38 points.
You see Adam Mclaughlin moving to the right side of the field there, so he is all right. As we saw him go down about a drive or two ago.
Good to see Mclaughlin back on the field. You see him lined up man-on-man with Morikita. Now 4th down, the Corsairs will go for it. Pina under pressure, rolls to the right, throws right for the end zone. Jump ball falls incomplete. In and out of the hands of Mclaughlin.
Javon White with the coverage there, and they were looking for Mclaughlin.
McLaughlin is the tallest man on the field. Pass was there, he just couldn't get a hand on it enough. And White did a good job knocking it away.
6'4" is Adam McLaughlin. Again, trying to use his height to his advantage. Powering over the top of Javon White, 5'10", and a junior. So we'll see him again next year.
So now the Falcons have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Handoff goes up the middle to Javon Brown-Simpson, not much there, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Trying to get yards any way he can. They've not even considered going to another running back, such as Jaquay Solomon. It's all Javon Brown-Simpson today, but of course it is his senior day. And let him have as many carries as they can, I guess.
2nd down and 10, Leslie back to throw, looks to the right and throws right. Pass is caught by Samael. He breaks out of 1 tackle, but can't get more than another yard.
And got to try to get it to Samael as many times as you can. Samael and Lastra, seniors as well.
Absolutely. You know, Dan, as there's 8 minutes left in this game and I desperately seek for conversation topics, I really like this pregame sheet you made for us. I wish it was ordered by number. I know why you listed it the way you did, but my eyes want to go to numbers. So it's constructive feedback. I do love this thing. It's a very good sheet.
Well, thank you very much. I'll make sure to keep that in mind when I redesign it for next year.
Hooray. 3rd down and 7 for the Falcons. Leslie with plenty of time to throw, throws to the right. Wide open is Herbert Acosta. He makes a leaping catch and picks up a 1st down.
That was one of the nicer catches we've seen today for the Falcons.
Take a look at this one again. All day to throw for Desmond Leslie. Acosta leaps up and is speared down by Devon Fuller, but is able to hang on to the ball. Leslie back to pass on 1st down. He throws long to the right side and incomplete. Just out of the reach of Herbert Acosta.
It was that close.
Acosta, the junior from Los Angeles, just couldn't catch up to that one.
A nice throw down the far sideline, but in the end, just out of Acosta's reach. And of course, it's one of those rare times when his 5'4" height works against him.
2nd down handoff goes to Brown-Simpson. He is wrapped up and tackled in the backfield. Guess who? It's Marvy Mathurin for only the 27th time today, I think. Getting into the backfield, breaking up a play.
He's had a lot of those today, as the stat sheet will show. 84 tackles coming in today. That's 9 a game. He's had 4 sacks, 14.5 tackles for loss. That's this season. A great linebacker out of Woburn. And for UMass Dartmouth, Might be a little disappointed that this is going to be his last game, but he's actually contributed to 9 tackles today and 3 tackles for a loss.
3rd down and 13 for the Falcons. Leslie back to pass. Great coverage downfield. He has to step up. The Falcons had no receivers open. Leslie was able to get back to the initial line of scrimmage, but nothing else there. He's got plenty of time at first, but the coverage breaks down, and he has to get out of the pocket and try to make something on the ground.
And it looks like that was Mclaughlin, too, who was able to get that tackle.
So the Falcon offense gets a 1st down, but not much more. They will kick the ball away. Tony Slaughter sets up at about his own 35-yard line. Barrentos' kick is away. The high dead duck. Slaughter loses the football, muffs the catch, and the Falcons recover.
Well, there's a break for him. I mean, you can call for the fair catch all you want, but you do have to complete the process of actually catching the ball.
See there, Slaughter calls for the fair catch, can't make it. Loses the football, and then falling on top of it is Fitchburg State.
With the recovery of the muff punt.
So Fitchburg State's offense gets a second crack at it. 1st and 10 at the Corsair 35-yard line.
They catch a break, and really at this point, I think the Falcons just want to score. Just want to score, really.
Leslie throws to the right, pass is incomplete, intended for Acosta. Might have been a little miscommunication there.
Acosta was not even looking at the football, or at least the ball was about 4 feet behind him. I can't imagine that was the play he thought they were running.
No, Acosta ran just a little flat route to the right, and Leslie threw a quick hook. Fortunately, there were no Corsairs in the area. Now on 2nd down, dump-off pass to the left is incomplete. They're going to rule that a forward pass. I think that was the correct call, intended for Javon Brown-Simpson.
I agree as well. I believe that was indeed a forward pass. And so nothing more gained on that, and quickly 3rd down.
So the Falcons go aerial here deep in the 4th quarter, just trying to put points on the board. They've got 2 quick incomplete passes, and they're faced with a 3rd and 10. Leslie back to pass, looking right, under pressure. He's wrapped up and driven down.
Tony Slaughter with the sack, making up for the muffed fair catch. Now what do you do if you're the Falcons? Too far to go for it now that it's 4th and 13.
I think they're going to kick it away. Tony Slaughter with his 2nd sack of the day. Barrentos' kick is away. Slaughter calls for and this time makes the fair catch at the 10-yard line.
Well, it helps pin them in. I'm reminded of a game many years ago. Fitchburg lost to Framingham 42-0. And on FitchburgFalcons.com, the recap, the picture was of kicker and punter Lenny Masangeli.
He had a good game that day.
He did have a good game that day. And that really summed it up. You try to put in, like, who is the star player? Well, maybe it'll be Javon Brown-Simpson this time because it was senior day, or maybe Devon Samael.
No. Javon Brown-Simpson has wound up not having a terrible day, I would say.
He's had many carries.
And, of course, we do want to thank the volunteer crew of FATV. There's Charlie running a camera in the end zone for us.
And now, as I'd expected, and was hoping we would see Matt Lowe into the game for his final collegiate appearance.
This is Abby Bambos, the ball carrier, however. Bambos stiff arms a man, is finally driven out of bounds at about the 28-yard line.
Tried the end around there and worked out pretty well.
It really did. Picks up about 18 yards and a 1st down for the Corsairs.
Another good start to this drive. And another one of our wonderful volunteers.
Absolutely. It is chilly outside. You can see that. You wouldn't be able to tell that from the quality of the broadcast work, however. Great job by the FATV crew. 1st down handoff goes to Slaughter. He's driven back at pretty much the line of scrimmage. Morikita in on the hit for the Falcons.
Charles Harvin Jr. there as well.
No gain.
And there's Jared up on the lift. Jared, of course, knows exactly where the cameras are. Probably because Jared set the cameras up. But, you know, details.
That's a handy bit of information to have. To know exactly, too, where to put the cameras so we have the best views of all coming to you at home.
2nd down and 10, pitch to the near side. This is Randy Butler, the ball carrier. As we go deep in the roster sheets for UMass Dartmouth. Butler's 2nd carry of the day, I believe.
He's had a few here and there. It is Butler's 3rd carry.
Dave Oster running camera for us as well. Thank you, Dave. 3rd down and 8 for the Corsairs. Lowe getting signals from the sideline. He's a senior out of Stoneham. Just 20 attempts coming into the game this season.
I could hear the frustration from the UMass Dartmouth coaches box from over here, and we're on the other side of the press box.
Yes, we are very far away from the Corsair coaches box, but we were still able to ask, or still able to hear, rather, one of the coaches ask if one of his players was bleeping unintelligent. That's a sanitized way of saying what he said, right?
I guess.
Yeah. So the Corsairs wind up burning their 2nd timeout. And hopefully they don't need that for a 2-minute drive to come back and win this game after the Falcons score 38 points in the next 3 minutes. That's possible, right?
Yeah, if they need that drive, this game will make SportsCenter.
Okay. I'd be fine with that.
I would also be fine with that.
I mean, they're going to fire 100 people Monday. They should probably, maybe they're looking to hire us. That's fine.
That'd be nice.
Did you hear Jonathan Coachman's not with ESPN anymore?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
There is no chance he doesn't go back into wrestling, is there?
He's gonna be well, I heard he said he's going to do something with WWE next week.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a nice shot.
Yep. Nice shot of green and gold balloons flying up in the air. That's probably a metaphor for something.
Yeah, they go floating. West and east. They go floating. Free and released from the... Oh, never mind. 3rd down pass over the middle is complete to Abby Bambos. He levels a defender and is finally brought down.
What a great day he's had. The former Fitchburg High Red Raider returning to Fitchburg yet again. I remember 2 years ago when the Corsairs played Fitchburg. He made an excellent diving catch in the end zone for a touchdown in a game that Fitchburg won. But for Bambos, he had a pretty good day then. He's having another pretty good day today as well.
You said it earlier, Dan, and it really rings true. Abby Bambos just loves playing football here in Fitchburg. Doesn't matter if it's Crocker Field or Elliott Field. He loves playing ball here. And we have a clock stoppage again. There's a penalty on the far sideline.
Is this going to be another unsportsmanlike?
Possibly.
Another really stupid unsportsmanlike penalty that didn't need to happen?
Well, yes. If it is one of those, and that's the indication.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 1 of the defense. That is the 2nd unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. Number 1 is disqualified.
So Javon Brown-Simpson on the sideline on senior day has drawn himself 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and therefore been ejected.
Yes. That's a terrible way for your career to end.
It really is. That is unfortunate, and I have no further comment.
Well, we've seen it all today, haven't we?
Corsairs 1st and 10.
Corsairs pick up 15 free yards. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the Falcon 43. Meanwhile, Patrick Haverty is still in discussions with the head linesman. Finally, we're ready for play here. Play action, Lowe will keep it. And he will be driven down. 29, Ryan Bednarik for the Falcons, and now there's more flags.
There's frustrations aplenty in this contest. Obviously, this game has not gone it all the way the Falcons wanted it to.
No, nobody expects to come out on senior day and get pasted. but the Falcons are getting pasted, and in my opinion, they should take it.
Dead ball, personal foul, 76 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
76 is Anthony Bednar's. It's the first personal foul against him today. So that's 15 more yards for the Corsairs. And all of a sudden, this game cannot end quickly enough.
Honestly, I want this game to end before I say something I'm going to regret.
Corsairs first and 10 from the Fitchburg 28.
First and 10 Corsairs at the Falcon 28-yard line. Michael Slaughter is in because his name is emblematic of the way this game has gone. And he picks up 6 yards. That's fine.
Interesting they haven't taken him out of the contest today. And they bring in another running back, but he's spelling the other one. Or is he? No, they actually are taking Slaughter out now.
So Slaughter will head to the sideline. It is his last game, the senior captain from Springfield. So congratulations to him. He ran for 7,000 yards, scored 1,000,000 points.
That's what it feels like. He only had 1 touchdown today.
Okay, he scored 6 points. He still ran for 7,000 yards.
Might as well have. Jace Pena threw 14 for 28, 234, and 4 touchdowns. That was a career high for touchdowns.
Corsairs are running out absolutely as much of the clock as they possibly can. They'll take the delay of game as they congratulate Michael Slaughter on the sideline.
I'd like to point out that if you're in the Fitchburg area, or even if you're not in the Fitchburg area, Fitchburg State Ice Hockey is in action at the Wallace Civic Center tonight. They are playing Framingham State, 7 o'clock start.
All right. FitchburgFalcons.com with the live stream, probably?
Absolutely, they'll have it.
Right.
I have nothing to do with it, but they'll have it.
2nd and 9.
But always love promoting the old guys. I mean, I worked for them for years, so. And they've got great announcers there, too. Great people running the crews.
The referee is trying to get the attention of the score clock operator here, having trouble with his microphone.
Please set the game clock to 34 seconds.
So they're going to set the game clock to 34 seconds, which might possibly mean we're only 1 snap away. Oh, they had a 10-second runoff for the delay of game. That's a thing that happens. And the Corsairs will take a knee and mercifully send this one away. So, that happened.
Yep, I mean, from a Fitchburg State perspective, this game was an unmitigated disaster, and there really aren't any nice words I have to say about it. It's a shame, really, but it's like I said what I said. I don't want.
It's a frustrating day for the Falcons. It's especially frustrating given that it is senior day. There's no good way to put this. They got walloped. Corsairs came in, put up 38 points. Falcon offense didn't score any points at all, ever. Now we've got pushing and shoving on the far sideline. I think the officials, one of the players are getting, this is a disaster. This is.
It looks like, yeah, one of the officials, why are they pushing him back? Is he cross? I mean, everybody's cross. I mean.
Saw half the Falcon offense go chasing down the head linesman as he's shouting at a coach. Well, this game sucked. Falcons lose 38-0. We're going to check in with Amanda Agassi, and Amanda has been the best part of this broadcast, so I'm sure that she will have something very informative and enlightening and happy to say. Amanda, what do you have for us?
And that's a wrap for the senior day. We would also like to thank all the seniors, 11 of them. We have Devon Samael, Javon Brown-Simpson, JoJo Charles, Dylan Woods, Jesse Lastra, Stephan Armand, David Desamine, James Droney, Berthany Henry, Connor Flynn, and Marquise Frazier. Again, thank you so much for contributing to the team. Falcon fans, really appreciated coming out to this cold game. It was great. You know, unfortunately, the Falcons couldn't come out on top, but it's about the seniors today. I would like to thank FATV, the crew, everyone that's been behind us. We've had an amazing season as a crew, and thank you so much for having me as your sideline reporter. And this is Amanda Agassi signing off for the last time this season. Back up to you guys.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I told you she was the best part of the broadcast today.
Absolutely. So let's just talk about, a couple other things, too. So first off, for Fitchburg State Athletics as well, men's basketball starts next Friday. They're taking on Middlebury up in Middlebury, Vermont. That's a big matchup to open. Women's basketball opens against Clark. And let's see, they'll open against Clark on Wednesday. And, of course, Fitchburg-Leominster football coming up on Thanksgiving. That's the big one.
Absolutely. It's less than 2 weeks away. I know we mentioned it once. We'll mention it again. It's Fitchburg. It's Leominster. It's Thanksgiving. What else do you need to hear, really?